Hello, everybody. I got some invites out there. Everybody hadn't come in. I was a little bit late sending invites out. Sorry, I was on the phone. But here I am. I know Coda Boy probably will be here. SoCal said he would jump in and out. I hadn't heard from Rosie, but being it's 4th of July, probably won't be here, but I hadn't heard from her. But like I said, being it's 4th of July, you know, I almost didn't do the chat period just because I didn't plan it out. I canceled last week. I was out of town. I didn't want to cancel today because it's like 2 weeks in a row. It's like I don't want to keep canceling chats. You know, I mean, I try my best to work my schedule around the chats for all you guys and gals. Sometimes it don't work out, but I do what I can. Anyway, happy Independence Day, everybody. Happy 4th of July. And while we're waiting on guests, I'm going to read off the Declaration of Independence. This is why we're celebrating today. This is what this day is about. So here we go. Excuse my accent. When, in the course of human events, it becomes necessary for the people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another, and to assume the powers of the earth. Is this right? Yeah. That don't look right. Let me make sure. That's probably right, but it didn't look right. Let me find another one. Oh, hell, I'm making a fool of myself. I guess it was right. All right. The unanimous declaration of the 13 United States of America. When in the course of human events, it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another, and to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station in which the laws of nature and of nature's God entitle them. A decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to the separation. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed, that whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or abolish it, and to institute new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its power in such form as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness. Prudence, indeed, will dictate that governments long established should not be changed for the light and transient causes. And accordingly, all experience hath shown that mankind are more disposed to suffer while evils are sufferable than to right themselves by abolishing the forms to which they are accustomed. But when a long train of abuses and usurpations, probably said that wrong, pursuing invariably the same object, evinces a design to reduce them under absolute despotism, it is their right, it is their duty to throw off such government and to provide new guards for the future security. Such has been the patient sufferance of these colonies, and such is now the necessity which constrains them to alter their former systems of government. The history of the present King of Great Britain is a history of repeated injuries and usurpations all having in direct object the establishment of an absolute tyranny over the states. To prove this, let facts be submitted to a candid world. All right, I'm going to continue. Let me look over here. Y'all want me to continue on? Nice crowd out there. All right, we'll wait. Hang on. Sorry about this. I do apologize. All right, sorry about that. All right, to prove these facts, let facts be submitted to a candid world. He has refused his assent to laws, the most wholesome and necessary for the public good. He has forbidden his governors to pass laws of immediate and pressing importance unless suspended in their operation till his assent should be obtained. And when so suspended, he has utterly neglected to attend to them. He has refused to pass other laws for the accommodation of large districts of people, blah, blah, blah. And we could go on and on. It goes on for a little while.
All right, sorry about that. All right.
Here's Coda Boy.
To prove these facts, let facts be submitted to a candidate.
You'll get it in a minute.
I couldn't figure out what was going on, man.
Assent to laws.
You got
The most
to use
wholesome
your computer
and necessary for the public good.
I thought I had. You just kept talking for some reason.
What's happening?
Are we live?
We're live.
Oh, geez, man. Hey, hey, TR. Let freedom ring, babe. Just got off a road trip from lovely Detroit. And for all you guys who think that I go up there to vacation, just an FYI, it's my wife's mother passed away shortly before Christmas, so her brother's up there by himself, and we just go up there and hang out with him on occasion just to have fun. And so kids and the wife, they fly up from Charlotte, and I drive right from Harrisburg, and then which is about a nice ride, straight up the turnpike, but that's it, man. I just got back, stopped and bought a bucket of chicken. Sorry, El Rey. And I'm going to be sucking on the rest of this bottle of Johnny Walker during our conversation tonight.
That'll be fine. Let's see here. I'm getting everything. Everything set up. Takes me a minute. Kind of got a feeling that we might not have too big a crowd. I don't know. And then as far as a guest, I really don't know because it's 4th of July. People's out shooting fireworks with the kids.
They're doing it right next. I'm in the capital of Pennsylvania, and they've got some big fireworks right outside my window. As a matter of fact, you may be able to hear them if you listen closely.
Yeah, I hear a little bit of background noise. That's probably what that is.
Had a pretty good week, though. We got to meet up with Bad Billy and did some shooting with him. Yeah, can y'all hear that? They're going for the finale right now, I think. And he's just a super awesome guy. I tell you what, man, if he just some of the nicest folks from Michigan, with the exception of my wife, who's meaner than a snake sometimes. But that just comes with the territory, I guess.
Anyway, crap going on. Okay, Swinger 70. I think he's one of the ones that did a Let Freedom Ring video, I think.
Yeah, he did. He's one of the guys that he lives over towards Philadelphia area. He and I'm pretty good buds. We did that brass. Who's got the shiniest brass competition? And he's a real nice fella, man. He's gonna move up in the world in the YouTube world. So I'm gonna plug his channel if you don't mind. And just everybody go to SWinger70 and give him some sub, man. He's a nice dude and he's got it going on. He's getting into the reloading and just having a good time.
Cool. Okay, so you actually personally know him. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Where did I get the Trump flag? A YouTuber sent me that. But they asked me not to. Yeah, Dirt Road sent it to me. Not Dirt Road Gun Show, but Dirt Road out there in the chat room. Different channel. TRprepper. He just didn't want me to. Since all the comments and stuff won't be on there, it won't matter. Yeah, but anyway. Yeah, Com sent that to me. That's pretty cool of him. I thought, being it's the 4th of July, I'd take down the Confederate flag, put the American flag back up, and since I had that, I'd change the scenery a little bit and put up a Trump flag.
There you go. You had a Gadsden flag back there. Speaking of Gadsden, where the hell's Wicked Sensation tonight? Is he on? Is he out there?
I didn't notice him, but I was reading the Declaration of Independence a while ago, so he could have passed by and I didn't see.
Well, I was listening to your reading. If you want to continue reading that thing, I'll just be quiet and we can sit here and all.
I've already read it. It was getting into all the accusations they was putting against the king, so that might not be quite relevant. I mean, it is, but it ain't.
There he is. Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been a long week, man. I drove up there Thursday after work, got there about 10:30, 11 o'clock. My wife had gone out to the store and bought me a nice bottle of Pritchard's malt whiskey, which was it's different, but it was good nonetheless. And then, so it was party time between the kids and the brother, and going to those interior lakes that Michigan have. It's unbelievable what they've got up there. And, if they had a nice 70-degree temperature all year round, I wouldn't mind moving up there because it is considered a free state, An absolutely beautiful ride between Detroit, Ohio, that long stretch, and then the mountains of Pennsylvania. It's gorgeous.
Cool. Yeah, I just thinking back at watching the videos, and there's a few videos I still hadn't seen because there are some channels I'm not subbed to. I did it finally hit me to do a search, the hashtag Let Freedom Ring, and just search YouTube and look at the videos that's been posted today, not last year or whatever. And like I said, I counted up about 50, including mine. I mean, mine don't show up in the feed, of course, but I counted 49, so I was like, okay, well, that's 50 videos that I know of, and there may even be a few more. But anyway, getting back to the free states and stuff, like Midas shot his 75 round drum, I shot a 75 round drum and a Glock, and the others had sun sticks, and it's just like, man, imagine living in a state you had to have a 10 round mag. That is just sad.
Well, you could edit your video like I do a lot of times. You go to these ranges, they don't allow you to load up a full mag. I got busted by one of the game wardens a couple weeks ago, and I was blasting away, and he kind of got, I noticed it was a nice Chevy Silverado 4-door pulled up at the loading dock there, and next thing I know, he gets out of his truck, and he walks up, and I was shooting at PPS, which only holds 7 rounds anyway, but he goes, He goes, how many rounds you shooting there? And I said, no more than 6, sir. He's like, that's what I thought. Next thing I know, man, he sit there for about an hour and a half. He and I just shooting the shit about guns, and I pulled all my ARs out so he can take a look at them. And he's coming by next week to go do some shooting with us. It's just, I was like, man, because I make friends wherever I go, man. I don't care what it is. A big smile and a goofy beard and boo-hoo-hoo. And then next thing you know, you got people like Big Johnson hounding you for 2 hours a day, that kind of thing. Dirt road's a good bud. But it's always fun. But yeah, free living in a free state, you just can't beat it. And then if you guys, there's a couple channels out there, they just keep track of the news. I know a couple people, man, and I just heard that the new stand your ground law in Florida was overturned because it wasn't deemed unconstitutional, the new law, where the state had to prove guilt versus before you had to prove your innocence. So, of course, that came out of Miami-Dade from some guy named Milton. So, world's going to crazy.
Definitely. Yeah, SoCal said, or so-called, as I called him earlier today. That was a flat-out accident, but after I've seen it, it was like, that's funny.
I think my phone's recognizing SoCal. I'm driving down the road making comments on all those videos that came out today. I was just had my earbuds in. I was making the voice recognition word coming out, and some of the stuff that came out, I'm like, no. Shit, I had to pull over a couple times. I was like, nope, can't do that. It was too funny. Oh, Big Johnson. I was making fun of myself there, Stud Muffin. How's that? How are those? What shots were you doing there? The peppermint schnapps? Or?
Oh yeah, Big Johnson.
Yeah.
It looked like he was a bartender, whatever party.
I imagine anywhere he goes, he probably takes the party over very shortly after he arrives.
Yeah, that might have been what happened.
When if he has the opportunity to make it down to the Farmageddon, or that we're never going to have again, I'm hoping that he comes if it ever happens. Because it maybe not happen, but who knows? So, but didn't somebody said that Crazy made a video yesterday or today? Yeah.
Yep.
That's fucking cool. Got to play with my baby today. I kept seeing these signs going down. It said, drive slow, be careful, watch out for the orange. And every time I saw the billboard, I kept trying to take a picture so I could send it to the guys with their orange grips on their pistols. Slow it down when you see the orange. There you go. Fireball, that's it. Oh my God. We did some drinking. We're getting ready to. So, hey, Winger, I haven't had an opportunity to get to the mailbox yet. I got up to the apartment. It's going to be tomorrow. They got a temp working downstairs at the front desk, so I doubt they'll know how to get my mail anyway. So when I get that thing, man, I'll be able to hook you up, man. And tell Logan I said hello. B-boy. So what'd you do this weekend, TR?
Worked.
Yeah? Fun day, huh?
Yeah, work today, got to work tomorrow. I do get Thursday off, and then I got to work Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
Outstanding. Oh, well, cool, man. Is that like 80 hours a week you're working now, or what? How's that work out?
Well, it's 4th of July. It's plant shut down. I work maintenance, so guess what? Everybody's gone, but I'm there.
Yeah. When I was working as a contractor over at the Philip Morris plant in Concord, or in Cabarrus, Concord, North Carolina, they had a 2-week shutdown during the 4th of July week, the one before and the week after. And that was our one time where we could get in there and just tear the place apart and really do our damage. So we had to shut down and pretty much ran 24/7, 2 weeks from straight. That was a tough time for us. How's the arm treating you, bud?
It's actually doing pretty good. See, it's just a little bitty scab now. It's just a little. I mean, it looked worse than it was. I mean, it put a hole in it. Don't get me wrong, but it's healing up. I get cut, burnt, and stuff so much at work. I don't even hardly bleed anymore. I get cut, and within a few minutes, it's like scabbed over.
Yeah. Well, I got to respond to Dirt Road. Dirt, these are my seeing eyeglasses, man. I can't see without them, so that's why I wear them. These are not actually they're safety glasses, but right now they're my seeing eyeballs.
All right, there's the shirt. When El Rey speaks, everybody listens. Everyone listens. There you go. I want to see the shirt out there.
That was cool, man. Today, during your Let Freedom Ring, he was nailing it, man. You have him a script he has to follow. All right, now.
He was hollering that I got a Canon camera, Canon RF50 or something like that. And when loud noises hit, it quietens the mic down. So when I start shooting it, everything gets quiet, and it takes it a few seconds to pick back up. But you hear him in the background. Yeah, he usually hollers. Every once in a while he don't, and then that's why here lately I've been walking up to the pen. I'm like, hey, say something.
Yeah. Hey. That's too funny. When growing up, man, we had chicken houses all over the place. And as a matter of fact, I spent more than a couple July 4th weekends collecting eggs. And I mean, you know, those 500-foot chicken houses, man, you want to talk about hot as hell. And then, you know, those nasty little critters, they're cannibals, man. They will eat each other up. If they see the sight of blood, it's on, man. Them poor little baby chickens go, bye-bye.
Yeah, I've had some of my chickens when I introduced some new ones. One time I lost 3 chickens, 3 hens, just from each other. They killed each other.
Well, then they had what was it? Used to watch that show, the Pickers or whatever it was, and one of the guys found those glasses that they made for chickens. You ever seen those? They're red lenses. They put them on the beak, and I shit you not, man. They're like this. They look like little Elton Johns walking around with their things going on. It was kind of funny as shit. A couple of guys are asking about that Antifa bullshit that they had threatened to go down and deface a bunch of the statues over this weekend in Gettysburg. And I know a bunch of guys were going to go down there, but man, the 4th of July weekend at Gettysburg is probably the worst weekend to ever go down there and try to deface anything, because you've got the reenactors that whole week. And if you've ever been to Gettysburg, it's probably one of the most amazing places in the entire world to go. North Carolina lost more people on that charge than any other state did, and they've got an awesome monument down there. And I was gonna, if I hadn't have gone to Detroit, I was gonna go down there and just stage up in front of that thing with a baseball bat and an American flag and say, "Come and get it, bitch." But yeah, those guys, they didn't have any balls. It's crazy.
Everything I've seen of Antifa, yeah, I mean they talk a big game and they sling a few sucker punches, but if they actually came up to people, real American, well, I shouldn't even say real Americans. If they came up against a group that were actually patriots, they would get their ass stomped so bad, so fast, that it wouldn't even be funny.
It'd be ugly.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of little nanny little ninnies.
Exactly. Hang on 1 second. I'll be right. No, never mind. There it is. Like I had a lighter here somewhere.
Well, while you're doing that, I'm going to have to run. Guys, if you'll excuse me, but this is getting a little on the low side, so I'll be right back. It won't be taking. Talk amongst yourselves there. You know, T.R., keep them company, okay?
I will. Okay. Hang on 1 second. Got too much stuff going on and not enough guests. All right, Asian Patriot. RPM Hado. Sandy's Passions, Big Johnson, Frank I, Hidden Coin Collector, Lake Shadow 100. That's a new one. I don't think I've seen that name before. Daniel. I would do a rundown, but I've been behind so far. I got too much going on. Dirt Road. Not Dirt Road Gun Show. Just Dirt Road. HRM, the Scab Ugly channel. A pretty good crowd. I really didn't think I'd have that many people watching tonight because it's 4th of July, but.
Well, I'll tell you what, let's do this. I want to talk about the hashtag Let Freedom Ring videos. I watched them all as I was, well, let's just say this. I listened to them all as I was driving down the road. And there's a couple of them that really stood out to be, I mean, I thought were exceptional. And I thought, let's see. Yankee, yours was awesome. The music was pretty incredible, man. I truly enjoyed that. I cranked that up pretty loud, man. It was a lot of fun. Dirt Road Gun Show. Now, what's the difference between Dirt Road and Dirt Road Gun Show?
Dirt Road is TRprepper.
How the hell did that happen?
He's got 3 channels.
Jesus. Okay. Dirt Road with a radio. Guy up in a road of dirt. You know.
He said he done that channel to do all his Bubba stuff.
Ah, okay. All right. All right. Well, so Dirt Road Gun Show, his video, he did a great job. There's a lot of editing. I know he spent a lot of time doing some the fireworks and doing the shooting because he's the one guy. If you guys haven't know, he actually has a swimming pool in his backyard, and he's been known to shoot from inside his house in the kitchen through the hole in the fence of where his swimming pool is all the way down to the woods and hitting some steel. It's pretty cool. But he spent a lot of time. And then Zeus, his video was off the hook, man. And then also I want to I'm giving a real good shout out to, oh gosh, where's he at? He's actually on here tonight. Hold on. Scab Ugly. Scab Ugly. You was playing a guitar on yours, right? He did a great job on his, man. That was awesome. And then all the other guys just blasting your guns away in your free states. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't do nothing fancy with mine. Last year I had music playing, and I think I did some text at the end of it, and you know, kind of funny and all that. This year I knew this couple weeks here I was going to shut down. I had limited time. I hadn't hardly had a day off in a week or so, and I was just like, well, okay, I'm just gonna go out and do a video right quick, go ahead and upload it, have it scheduled, I don't want to get caught with my pants down. I'm just gonna have it out there, and so I didn't do anything fancy with it. I just loaded up a 75 round drum, and when I turned, blew it up.
Yeah.
And when I done that video, that Georgia election, it just happened like the day before. That video is like 2 weeks old.
Well, I remember when you said you shot that thing. I shot mine last week because I know I was going to be heading out of town. And then, Blue's video was awesome. That damn dryer, he put, 10 pounds of tannerite in that thing. Man, I saw that door or whatever it was. It just blew off of there. And I was like, well, remember that video when the dude had the leg blown off by the lawnmower blade? Dial 911.
Yeah, I remember when that was some old footage. I remember when I've been subbed to Blue since he started. And I remember when he done that. They were actually, I mean, you see that blow by right there.
Yeah.
But he actually, in the original video, he shows the video where they're like 150 yards back, maybe 200 yards. I forget what he says. They were 100 to 200 yards back.
Yeah.
And got a camera set up, and they were on a hill, just like looking over a hill, and shot at it. And that piece of dryer still flew by them.
Shit. Well, you know what? When you're messing with explosives like that, that ain't no joke, man. We used to play around with C4 deck cord. We'd see how fast we could clear a forest with those things, man, and it was just ridiculous. But I mean, I know there's a couple guys out there in the gallery that know exactly what the hell I'm talking about, man. But we used to just take a couple pounds of C4 everywhere we went. It was what is that? Nunya. And you wanted to clear a path, put some rock out of the way, clear some trees, get your LZ going, some deck cord, and some C4, and so a couple blasting caps. You could make it happen. We used to blow up porta-johns. If a porta-john got a little old and rank, we'd take a little drop of C4 and a time fuse and just throw it in there and just shaboom. It was disgusting. Bubba name. What's the odds you guys would pick Dirt Road Gun Show? You guys, comms, man, you should, I'm not telling you what you should do because I hate when people do that to me, but it's like Dirt Road Prick 77 or something like that. That'd be a good one.
Yeah.
And that's PRC 77, guys. That's not I didn't call him a prick, so please.
Yeah. Well, I think up until today, he may have a few subs now. I think I was his only sub on that channel. He just come up with it. He said, because I live on a dirt road.
Mm-hmm.
Well, his retreat's on a dirt road.
Oh, man. Dirt road living. That's pretty cool, man. Well, I know that SoCal was going to try to jump on here after he fixed up dinner. Shit, it's 7 o'clock there. He should put a camera on his forehead and eat dinner so we can watch.
There you go. I
want to see how that steak turned out.
It was a nice looking steak.
Well, I know if he cooked it, it had to be awesome.
Oh, I'm sure.
Sick. I wanted to be on here because those, whatever the spare rib things he made, I was eating those just after he had them smoked. So, all right, let's talk guns. Who wants to talk guns? So you shot your AK this week. I'm not familiar. You know what? That's the one thing I don't have, and I got to get one eventually. AK, and maybe even, my wife informed me today, or this last weekend, she wants a Glock 19. So I don't know why, but we'll probably have to work around that. But if I were getting an AK-47, what is a good middle of the line AK to have?
I'm probably not the person to ask that. If you can find a Wasser at a decent price, I heard they're a good one.
What about those Palmetto State Armory ones they got down there? Those halfway decent?
Yes, excellent. Yes, grab one of those.
That's probably the avenue I was going to probably go.
Is it even Matt from Resisted Tyranny?
Yeah.
Bought one, and he is a AK man, tried and true, up one side and down the other. And he even likes it and ran it through its course. And he said, hey, that's a good gun.
Yeah. I think Dirt Road, Guns and Gear, he had the Century Arms RAS 47. AZ Patriot was saying that's a good one to get. And yeah, that's but one of my buddies gave me a couple AK-47 mags, the old Chinese steel ones, you know, the really nice ones.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to build on it now. I'm screwed. So now I've got to get an AK to go with them.
Yeah, mine's a Norinco. I mean, I've heard they can, the last one I seen was fairly expensive. I mean, you could have bought a AK of another brand cheaper than it because they kind of got, I won't say collector status, but I mean, they can't import them anymore. I mean, what's here is here, and that's it.
Yeah. So. Well, I just want something to play with. I'm not going to try to make it into something. I wouldn't mind having a Dragunov or Gruganov or whatever it is, the sniper rifle. But I got a friend of mine. He was telling me. I said, what's the difference between getting shot with an AK-47 and a Dragunov? He said, well, AK-47, you feel like you're getting punched. He said, a Dragunov, you go, what the hell was that? And because it just went right through him. He's got 7 bullet holes in his ass, but he's funny as shit. Yeah. Does CZ make an AK? Sizak. You guys are addicted, man. That is some sick shit. Come on, Johnson. Yeah. What the Rich out there at the farm when we out? He had one that had a custom trigger. Remember Rich? He's one with a silencer and all the other stuff. He had one badass AK. It was it was cut down short, but he had the extended muzzle brake on it, so it was a full length 16-inch barrel on it. But he had the trigger done, all the parts, everything had been polished and finished on the inside of it, the custom paint job on it, everything. And that was absolutely one of the sickest shooting damn AKs I've ever seen. And but he had some money in that one. I just can't justify putting money into an AK-47.
No, just buy it and feed it rounds.
Yeah.
I have to say, I mean, you know, I can't speak for other AKs, but I know mine out 7,500 yards, open sights, and I'm 49 years old too. I mean, my eyesight's close up sucks. I got to have reading glasses, but 100 yards, I mean, out there at Pop's place, I was dinging, I won't say every time, but, you know, 75 yards, you know, where we was doing the pistols, but they had the targets up at the wood line.
Yeah.
I'm dinging the hell out of those things with just open sights. I mean, they're not as inaccurate as people say. I don't think they are as accurate. They're built looser. Your sight picture is closer together when using open sights. You know, if you got an AR, your sights are further, you know, the further your sights are apart, the more you're going to be a little bit more precise. And AK, the sights are really close to each other.
Yeah. Well,
so, you know, that's going to affect your ability too.
I had, hey, Rodder, you know, it's just the familiarity of getting back to, I handled one a long time ago when I was in the Army. Actually, it was a novelty to get one in your hands. You're like, ooh, this is cool. And now it's just that everyday thing. It's kind of like an AR-15, man. You know, years ago, you know, the Olympic arms, remember those? The AR-15s. I think Pops has got one. Dirt Road, didn't you have it? You had an Olympic arms. And I remember my brother, I was out in not Texas, in Tennessee, and he handed me a lower, and he said, you want that? He says, I don't need it. And I looked at it, I said, well, that's an Olympic arms. I said, you need to call those guys and see when this thing was made, because if it's a pre-band, it could be worth some money. He called me up about an hour and a half later. He was all excited because it was, Dirt Road Gun Show, you. But anyway, pretty interesting stuff, and that's how I get off the subject of AK-47s real quick. But I want to get one and really just paint it up and make it look cool as shit. That's the only thing, you know, just to have something else to drag out, you know, as you're having a party at the house and somebody wants to look at guns. But yeah, I got to get one of those, and then eventually one of these days I'm going to have to get a Glock. So that's going to be, you're going to see a video. It's going to be named When Hell Froze Over. So.
No, I was the same way. I mean, actually, I probably dissed on Glocks more just for the hell of it, to, you know, just to stir up crap on YouTube and chats. But that's my carry gun. I carry that every day. I carry a Glock 17, not a 19. I carry a Glock 17.
That's a great gun. Everybody thinks that I hate Glock, and I don't. As a matter of fact, this week ran into, you know, my buddy up there. God, my brain's fried. It's been a long weekend. But Bad Billy, and he had his tricked out Glock with the Leopold micro red dot on it, and Zev disconnector, the flared mag weld. It was nice as hell, and it took me a couple of minutes to really get into the rhythm of shooting with that thing, but put a nice little group together with some rapid firing, and I can't remember what else he had. He had his SIG 1911, but I think he had 2 Glocks up there, and it was fun shooting those things, man. Yeah, he had his 9mm Glock 17 tricked out one, and he had a 10mm, and the grip on that damn 10mm was just like mammoth. You had to have big ass hands to get around it. That was nice shooting. That was a lot of balls on behind that thing. It was awesome. He let me have all his brass too. That was cool. So can we shoot more of your 45? Because I'm a little low on 45 brass. You know, just something. I got to pick that stuff up.
Yeah, hey, we talk about reloading and picking up brass. Almost any time you see me shooting in my yard, I actually buy ammo and shoot steel cased ammo. I don't care if it's, well, not 45, but 9mm, and of course AK and 223. If you see me shoot my AR out there, that's Tula.
Yeah, Dirt Road Living. He sent Dirt Gun a message, and his name's already changed on there. That's so funny. You guys are funny. Yeah, and RPM Idaho, I have 2 CZs. Getting ready to have another one probably in another month. So I want that damn P07 and a P01. And I'm done with the CZs. I'm not big in. As much as I'd love to have an orange-colored handle grip thingy, you know, it's just I can't justify that type of money for what I do. I'm a plinker, man. I just love shooting for the fun of it and building stuff. I mean, it's those guys that are going out there and spending the amount of money that they are on those guns, man. I envy them. I really do. I'd really like to have it, but yeah, no.
RPM Idaho want to know what you need a Glock for, because they make fun sticks for them. 33 round mags. That's if you don't have a Glock for anything else, it's for 33 round magazines. I don't have one handy here. Mm-hmm. For nothing else.
Well, that's the whole thing. Everybody's asked. You know, I would imagine that somebody's got to make a big long mag for this. I've got 2 other pistols that have the 20 round mags. I know Dirt Road Gun Show, he brought, who made that magazine he brought down there? I got a video of Pop's Quest shooting that thing. It was the big, oh gosh, he'll answer here in a second, the Happy Sticks, yeah.
Yeah, Happy Sticks, Fun Sticks. And that, I don't hate to, they sent me for free, so I ain't. KCI makes a damn 50 round drum for a Glock too. I got one of those too. Yeah, I've seen full automatic Glocks as well. Those things are pretty cool. Now I tell you what, those the orange handled CZs there's nothing gay about them. It's watching the videos on those things and seeing the trigger and the reset and the pull on them. It's a different world. That is something stupid. But you know, that's one of those things, man. I'm not. That's a different realm than where I go. I like. As a matter of fact, here, I'll just tell you this: if I don't buy it with it on it, I'm probably not going to change the gun that I have, unless it's an AR, which I built to my specs, because there's not an AR out there that can touch any one of mine. But pistols are a different story. I buy them, and it's they're stock, and I leave them like that. I mean, the PPS, the only reason I bought it was because it had the XS big dots on it, and other than that, I leave them stock. I'm not going to mess with the triggers. I mean, but this guy right here, now, that's a different story. That's a gun that I built, not I bought. So, as a matter of fact, Bad Billy was, now this is going to kill Rick, he equated the trigger on this to his Infinity. So, there. And I have lived for a while to thank for that trigger, because he let me borrow the jig that you have to have in order to make that thing that refined. It's absolutely stupid. But I can't wait to actually fire the orange-handled CZ in person so that I can aspire to build a gun that will smack its daddy. Yeah.
That's the only way I'm going to be able to afford anything like that is I'm going to have to make it myself.
Yeah, I mean, I got 2 CZs. I ain't put one of them together yet, but what's the other one at? Yeah, that's a Genic 349 Academy Sports.
That's a great gun, man. I've got the compact version of that exact gun, and it's an awesome little firearm, you know. But and here's the thing: I was looking at the P120, which is kind of like the SP01, and they have the P100. You can get those for $375, $400, something like that in the realm. After you get done with shipping, trade, and tags, title feed, and underbody wash, and all the other stuff. But you know, I like what you did. Did you ever finish up your CZ?
No, I got to make another slave pin for it. That don't ever take a decocker CZ apart. I'm just telling you.
You ever thought about is there anyone in that area that can put it together for you?
Well, if I can get the trigger back in it, like I said, I got to make a slave pin for it because the little reset for the trigger, that spring, I don't think it's humanly possible to put it in while you're trying to drive this pin in. I couldn't figure it out anyway. So I got to make it. I've watched some videos. Yeah, I got to make a slave pin. I just hadn't got around to it. I've been working every day.
Yeah.
If I can get the trigger in it, then I can put the rest of it together because I got a slave pin for the decocker, the sear, and all that crap. If you take one apart that has just a safety, not a decocker, that comes out. You can take one apart easily as long as you don't take the trigger out. But you can just totally disassemble it other than a trigger pretty easy. But if you get a decocker model, it's a whole different damn ball game, and it's a pain in the ass. And I work on machinery for a living, and this thing has whipped my ass.
Well, I know.
But it'll look good when I get done.
I can't, man. See, all right. So you got that an RPM. Actually, Big Johnson and I have talked about the EAA Tamfolio, SAR, whatever it is. And there's a gun store that's local to me that actually had a bunch of them and sold out, and they were really economical. And unfortunately, it wasn't in the stars for me. So I've got an alert email, to send to me as soon as they go back in. I will buy one just because of the economics of it, man. $349, and they do have it in 45, which might be over 14 plus 1 and 45 is not a bad deal in that body style. But when I started putting this thing together, what was killing me was the grip safety, the trigger bow, and the thumb safety, because the thumb safety has that cam and it has to go past in order. And once I got that, I thought it was all good. I put it back together and it wouldn't do anything. And I just thought it was all right. I got it back together. I'm going to leave it alone. And then the following week, I just set it down in front of me and I said, okay. Nick Taylor has got a YouTube channel, and he did an entire series about one step by step putting them back together again. And I finally realized what was happening was my grip safety wasn't filed down long enough in order to allow it to pop down behind the trigger bow, and it was propped up, and nothing would work. And until I got that taken care of, it wasn't going to work. So I had to finally file that down, it was a bunch of filing and finishing, but that's what's the wonder about building a 1911. You learn all about that crazy stuff, man. The trigger bows, putting the sear, the disconnect. I mean, it's just, there's so many little things that are so cool about that 1911 that are just incredible. But yeah, I think after I get done with and what I do, guys, I try to budget my money out 6 months down the road. I know exactly what I'm buying, where I'm buying it, and how I'm buying it. I just got to put the money aside and save it. I don't like selling anything. I almost had to sell a gun last week to make ends meet, and I've never been in that position before, and I was like, never will again will that happen, because I hate selling a gun. It's just one of those pet peeves. I just cannot stand it. But the P01 and the P07 are going to be my next CZs. And after that, I'm probably going to go. Hold on, I'll tell you exactly what we're getting. Go ahead, TR. You do some talking here. I'm going to pull up my spreadsheet.
Yeah, I hate selling guns. I've only sold a couple of guns in my life. I've done a few trades. Trading, I don't mind too much if it's a trade that I'm wanting to do.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as just flat out selling the gun, I've only done that. I've only sold 2 of, and I still regret it.
Yeah. Well, here's the whole thing. If you try to, unless you're selling private seller to private seller, you're never going to be happy with what you get out of it. You try to take it to a gun stop and say, hey, I need to sell this. They're going to give you bottom dollar. You're going to cry the whole way out there going, I hate myself. It's like trading in a car that you really love, All right, so the CZ P01, I want a M9 limited, the Walther PPQ, and a P07. And then that should... And I'm going to build me I want a tactical shotgun called a, what's that Benelli M4? Just something a little simple. I watched John Wick 2 the other night, and I was like, Benelli M4, sir? Yes. Oh, we'll take that.
Yeah, I need something for dessert.
Yes. Something a little more robust. So Dirt Road Gun Show, I had to watch the damn John Wick 1, and then we turned around and watched John Wick 2, which I'm cool with that, except for the if nobody's seen it, then I'll quit talking now. But there's one scene that involved a hot tub type swimming pool spa thing that just freaked me out. I was just like, I can't watch that part, man. That just blew me away. But anyway, what a great damn movie, man.
Yeah, a buddy of mine at work, he's like, well, I see why he never misses. He's like 2 foot away from most of the people he shoots. I said, well, there you go.
Yeah. Would somebody get this man a gun? And what's it give him? A damn 1911. 7 rounds. Are you kidding me?
You made up for
All
it.
right. All right, let's talk AR-15s.
Yes, I got a Dirt Road Living out there has a question. I told him he was texting me earlier or yesterday or whenever it was. He's having a feeding problem with his AR-15, and I told him it's probably the ammo. I can't really tell, and I doubt you will from this picture. Let's see. Let me talk. He said, I think it's right here. He's got like a defect in the metal, like a little chunk missing out of the aluminum.
Okay.
But I don't understand why that would cause a feeding problem. I told him to buy different ammo and try. He might have got a bad lot of ammo.
You probably end up Dirt Road Living. Let me ask you a question if you're listening out there. What have you tried different magazines? All right, and after that, or what type of ammo are you shooting? Is it steel cased? In most cases, it's going to be the ammunition or the mags. The M4 feed ramps, that little bit of defect that you see there, it's probably not going to cause it to not feed. But a lot of times, magazine, the type of ammo, and I mean, is it feeding all the time, feeding part of the time? Maybe we should just have a consultation session. But yeah, AZ Patriot, he the damn the videos watching him actually do the training at Terran Tactical or whatever it is, it's just ridiculous. But a lot of it's just repetitive. He just runs through and he's got the moves down. I noticed that when I see videos of me shooting, it's slow motion version of John Wick, very slow motion, with a lot of heavy breathing, of course. So,
sorry,
we're talking about John Wick and the moves, and I'm the slow motion, heavy breathing version of, slightly overweight version of John Wick. But can't really shoot that well, kind of thing. And I don't have it at Benelli M4 yet.
It's graceful when you fall.
This is true. I really wish somebody had that on video, man.
The one time we were at Farmageddon, all YouTubers, the one time they wasn't a camera rolling, Cody Boy falls down.
Busted my ass. He's 54 damn years old. Keanu Reeves. Oh.
Mm-hmm. Have you seen any of the videos of him like training and stuff?
Yeah, we were just talking about that, the Terran Tacticals. Testicles, watching him, it's ridiculous. But everything he's doing is repetitive, though. He's probably done it 100 times. Pop, 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 pop. And if you notice, even down at the farm, man, after you ran it a couple times, you know, you knew how to do it better every single time. And if you had unlimited resources, and you know, you had a studio paying the bill, oh my God, man, I would jump all over that shit.
I've seen some videos on, you know, like interviews with trainers and stuff like that. And he like trained like 8 hours a day. You know, all the jujitsu and shooting. I don't know if he did, you know, the karate and jiu-jitsu one day and gun training the next day and did it all day, or if he mixed it up. They say he's an animal. When he sets his sights, okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to be the best at it. You know? Yeah. And I think it's just pretty cool that he put that much dedication into it to be that smooth at it. And yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, if you've done that shit every day, all day long, yeah, you get fast at it.
Yeah.
Well, you know, you would hope so anyway.
Shh. The kid is a badass. That's all I can say. I'm like, Oxjaw, how you doing, brother, man? I'm glad to see you. I'm back. I haven't seen your videos in a long time. It was good to see you out there today, man. This is cool seeing everybody. Mr. Nutt. Mossy, he and Cure.
It's awesome that how many videos got done on the because there wasn't a lot of there wasn't. I mean, there was a few videos about, you know, hey, everybody put up a video, put it up at 5 o'clock, but I was overwhelmed how many videos got posted.
Yeah. Oh, it was the funny thing is like I didn't even know the Collier girls until somebody put one up, because that didn't come up on my alert. And I actually had my video going out to them this week. I was like, this was a support video, but I really could use a Aimpoint Pro. That's badass.
I thought their video was really good. I mean, I know their dads help, you know, whatever. It don't matter. You know, they had heavy metal playing. They had 2 pistols shooting.
Oh my God!
Full blown. I mean, AR-15. These girls are like 10 and 12 or 9 and 11, whatever it is. Somewhere in that range. And they're out there rocking an AR-15. Hell yeah, that's awesome.
Well, they're spreading the words. It's, you know, everybody has this, especially the knucklehead libtards. They've got this vision that AR-15s are just bunch. What is that? What was that? Was that cough medicine?
Yeah, called Canadian Hunter.
Look at you. Hell yes. Matter of fact, I'm about ready for my refill anyway. Oh, I tell you what, man. Hey, Mossy Nut, and get my package. I heard you were out of town. No, you send me something? Hell, everybody's sending stuff. I'm not very good with the mail, guys. It's I'm out of town. I'm only at my mailing address 3 days out of the week. So sometimes when it gets here, I'm gonna not get it actually in my hands for about 2 or 3 days afterwards. And I'm not very good about receiving stuff. So sometimes I really don't like for people to send me things, because it makes me feel kind of weird, but giggly. But what else did we get? I don't know, but here's a pretty neat little side subject. This is a, y'all got to see this, hold on. One of those is a 55 grain, the other one's a 75 grain. And if y'all watched that video where I was put those groups together on my reloads, that was using that. And that is one nice round, man. So we're going to get a bunch of these more. We're going to load them up and test them out again. Take it out there. But what's that?
What's the twist on the barrel you're using?
It's a 1 8 twist,
Okay.
and it's surprisingly stupid. That's a DPMS barrel that I bought. It's a stainless steel Teflon coated 1 8 twist, 18 inches long, and it's just been stupid sharp, man. As a matter of fact, I bought 2 of them. I put the one together, and then I bought another one down the road because I was impressed with the way that performed. And you can get them for $190, the barrels, and and people have sat there and called bullshit on my videos, and I'm just like, dude, you can say that all you want. I'm not gonna put it out there unless it's for real, you know.
Yeah.
So I'll bring that. I had that at the farm. That was the gun that I used when everybody was like, he's cheating, using a damn bipod.
Yeah, I
So we couldn't.
Well, nobody said you couldn't use one.
No, But yeah, man, that thing's just accurate as hell. But I'm going to test out the other barrel to see if it's consistent with the other barrel, and I'm going to bring that up next week and try it out.
I had my first AR-15 was a Colt H-bar. I didn't sell it. I did trade it.
Yeah.
I did a trade and got rid of it. But I already had a AR-15 that I built, basically. And so it ain't like I didn't have an AR-15 when I got rid of it. But I had a buddy of mine. It was a 20-inch barrel, old school, no collapsing stock, carry handle made into the upper.
Ooh.
Bought it in like 90. When did I buy it? No, not 90. 2002. Right after 9/11 happened. I was like, I need to get one of those before they make them illegal.
Yeah. Yeah, no shit, you know?
And I paid like $1,200 fucking for that son of a bitch. But I mean, you had like Bushmaster and Colt. They might have been some other manufacturer. It wasn't the flood of market that we have today. I mean, people just didn't own AR-15s back then.
Yeah, I watched a guy walk back bought an AR-15 1 week, walked back into the shop like 3 weeks later because he was getting transferred to a state that didn't allow him. And he looked at him. He paid like $1,200 for it with a red dot and everything. He goes, man, I don't know if you understand what's going on with the market with the ARs. And he goes, yeah, I do. They went from $1,200 to a $500 rifle like that, man. But one of my buddies, Moneybags, I got to go meet him tomorrow. He picked up a BCM 14.5 barrel upper, the whole BCM Bravo Company rifle with a Comp M4 on it for $1,000 with all Knights armament, rear backup iron sight, Knights armament rails, the whole deal was just like for $1,000 with the that's $800 red dot in itself, and it's just stupid. No, Scab Ugly, I don't have any Tito's laying around. It took me 3 days to recover from that one shot of Tito's. I didn't realize how big it was till 12 o'clock the next day when I watched the damn video. That was disgusting. That's why I took it down. But, yeah, he locked out, man. I told him, I said, I'll give you $100 for that aim point. He's like, nope. I said, do me a favor. Please don't paint that rifle, Krylon. Go do something special with it. Hell yeah, send Yellow an invite. Let's get somebody else in here. I'm worn out. I need to go get another drink.
All right, I had to send him the old-fashioned way.
Just email the link.
Yeah, I got to email it. PM it to him or whatever.
It took me there forever to figure out how to get in there.
Yeah, it takes a while to get a hang of it. Once you get the hang of it, it ain't that big a deal. If I ever get you on my Plus friends, that's how I usually send them out. But you have to check it through Google.
Well, that's what I was doing. I was checking it through that, and I had to hit the link, and it was just said, you're already on the call. I'm like, I don't know what the hell's going on here. You probably saw me going, I don't know what's going on. Night, Ryder. Take care of yourself, brother, man.
Okay, I got something messed up there.
You know what? And Papa's place, we were talking about reloading, and I use this thing right here to get rid of the crimp. And he was telling me not to use that. I should go ahead and get a swagger thing. But I was just, for me, it's so much easier just to do it with that thing. Everybody's got their ways. All I know is that there's this dude named SoCal, and he just keeps telling me to drink blue.
Yes. Now you got the turret press, didn't you? Elite turret press?
Yeah. In fact,
I have used one of those. I helped. I got a guy into reloading, and went and helped him set his rig up and used it, and I was impressed. That is a can't compromise. It really is.
I like it because I'm in control of what's going on with it. See, like right here, I got it set up right here, but then I went and got the other turrets. So this turret right here with the drum, all I do is I take this out and put it in the drum charger. It's set already up to 22 grains for 45 ACP, which is a little heavy on the load side, but it's okay. And all my dies are set up, and then this is set up already for the 223 right here, and then these are 9mm already set up. So I just pop them in there, change out the shell holder, and we're reloading. But I think when I had that squib, and as a matter of fact, I'm going to do a video on a squib, just how to recognize the stupidity behind it, and show it going off. I'll sacrifice one of the pistols. I'm not going to do a double feat whammy with the one behind it, but I think what happened was you don't pay attention, and then it can happen to you in a heartbeat. Hey, Curious.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Good, man. How'd you and Mossy hang out today, man? I saw that video. That was cool as all get out.
Yeah, man, it was great stuff, man. It was fun. Yeah, he came over for a bit this morning, and we did a little reload. He wanted to try out my press, my Loadmaster progresses. So let him load it up and take his hand at pulling that handle. So.
I tell you what, that thing's a trick, dude. You can. I know that Dirt Road picked one of those up as well, so he's reloading the daylights out of stuff, 9mm with it.
Yep.
I got let's see, which one did I have? Did you get the little 3 or 4 station one, or did you get the higher priced Lee one?
It's a five stage Loadmaster. The Lee Load.
Is that Hornady?
Lee.
It's Lee.
Yeah.
I got the cheaper progressive Lee one. I forget what they call it.
They got the Lee Load 1000, I think it is. I think that's
1000?
what.
Yeah, it's a Pro 1000, and then they have the Loadmaster.
Yeah, the Pro 1000 was a piece of shit. I love Lee products. Don't get me wrong. I have so much. I'd say 70% of the reloading stuff I have is Lee. Don't get me wrong. But that 1000 was a piece of shit. I hated it. Matter of fact, Yankee 4 owns it now.
Yeah,
he gave me some brass, and I just gave it to him. I said, "Here, you can have it."
Yeah.
Yeah.
The priming system is what sucks. The priming system. If it wasn't for the priming system, it was fine.
Yeah, I've had a few issues with the priming system, but nothing I can't figure out or have a little. It's got an upgraded priming system in it compared to what a lot of people have talked about. It's a little different, but it still has its issues.
Well, I tell you what, I was real concerned with that little priming system that this thing has with it, and after you get used to it, it snaps them in there without any issues. Oh Lord, Big Blue in the house.
Yeah.
Never mind. No, let's don't talk about the little red presses, man. We'll just get embarrassed here.
I'm gonna have to go home now.
The reloading Godfather is here. Jesus.
I can't compete with so-called, but I got two. I got a 550B and a square deal B. I've had a Dillon square deal B since like 1995. And I don't know how many tens of thousands of rounds have gone through that son of a bitch. Because my buddy that I reload with and cast bullets with, he'll borrow it every once in a while and keep it for a few months. And he'll just get all this shit together and like load up 5,000 rounds or whatever. Whatever.
That's
and then when he gets done, he's like, okay, I'm out of components. You can have it back.
Yeah, I've got to go out this week. I am sorting 223 brass between I'm also gonna do a comparison between the Hornady 75 open tip and the Sierra 77 grain open tip. And now that I've defined it, 24.4, 24.6 is probably the best loads. I've got a couple of people who told me to bump it up to 25, but and I'll try a couple of those. But I'm trying to define whether or not, now we've got the load, I want to figure out what bullet works best with this thing. I mean, 75 grain, you're shooting 1.25 inches at 300 yards is not that bad of a group. I don't care who you are.
Hey, man, I dig your hesitation to add more powder, and that's respectable. Who wants to use more powder when they don't need to? Try seating the bullet, maybe 5 thousandths, literally 5 thousandths deeper. It'll give you just a little bit longer burn time, or a shorter burn time, give you a little more compression.
Well, what about those people that say, I'm already doing it at 2.250, and I've had 2 people who say, you're going to blow yourself up or your gun. I'm just going,
if your twist rate is real high, then yeah, that's understandable. But you have, what do you say, 1 in 8?
1 in 8.
That's not.
That's
1 in 8 is a compromise.
See what happens, man.
Well, I'll pump about. My thing is it's expensive, SoCal.
No, I know. Those bullets
shit ain't cheap, man. Well, the Sierras are it's for 500 bullets. It's $120, and that's the cheapest price I found for 500 bullets.
Yeah, it's like about a quarter a piece.
Yeah, well, it's better than $1 a piece if you're paying out like that. So
yeah, some of the 300 blackout that I've made are pretty expensive, using the 220 grain 308 bullets. Those get expensive fast.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, where I'm fine. Well, here's the deal. So this next week, I'm sorting brass. 223 is going to get loaded up with 55 grain. My 5.56, what's that place out there that makes all the 5.56? Lake City brass is going to be. That's going to get shaved down, cleaned out, real sweet. It's going to be perfectly sized to 1.750, I think it is. And those are all going to get sorted to make these high pollutant rounds, whatever you want to call it. But
accurate.
Yeah, and so the cool thing is I've got a set of 223 dies for my single stage, and then I've got a set of dies for my turret, so I can do my shit plinking rounds, my 223 rounds on that. I can pump them out and just do the really high end rounds on the single stage. But the cool thing about it, honestly, is getting out there, like last week when I was shooting at the range and doing that 300 yards and seeing the differences in the loads and what they actually did, it was amazing. And I was walking down the range. I didn't know where they landed. When you walk up to the target and you're like a boner, man. It's like, God, look at that shit right there, dude. It was unbelievable.
Those big, heavy bullets don't blow around in the wind much.
No. Anyway, it was always cool.
I guess you could use a regular caliper and get a good idea, but SoCal can definitely chime in on this, and I know every press ain't the same, but you would be surprised at the precision loads you can get out of a progressive or turret press. They are pretty much. They should be dead nuts, just like a single stage.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking the same thing. I wasn't going to say it, but
well,
I was thinking
but yeah, but here's the thing. What I have them set up. Here's the matter. It's the matter of convenience for me. I actually have them set up for each round, and that's honestly even my drum powder measures. I'm thinking about getting one for each. What the hell is your dog's on your table?
It's actually it's a cat and it's my couch. But you're
okay. Your dog's on the table eating a steak. So see RPM. But yeah, as a matter of convenience, I've got the different the little disc things set up, and then the drum chargers. I'm just thinking about getting it, but you're not going to get the precision in the what was it? Deuce Bigelow's like fishy, 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 fishy. But you're not going to get the precision of the loading like you would with a trickle charger, and that's where the difference is. Like this thing right here, 25 grains of CFE 223, boom, I'm done, and I'm out of there. I don't give a shit if it's a plus or minus a grain if it's plinking rounds. But I do, however, I pull them off the press, I lay them out on a tray, and I check every single one of them to make sure there's somewhat the same amount of powder in them. Yeah. I don't trust the thing long enough.
I was going to say the powder charger shouldn't be even varying a half a grain, but
yeah.
We'll just say it's varying half a grain.
Well, let me ask you, what's your experience with the Hodgson CFE 223? This shit is fine, and it's not like the Vargets that the long.
It's a bar. That's a bar, and you're talking about spherical is the other type. And yeah. Both of them they meter differently, and some people have an argument whether or not what is better for one round over another, but it really comes down to what measure you're using. But with the Dillon, and I know you're gonna just shake your head, but I'm gonna say it, the Dillon works great with either spherical or, yeah, that's me blowing the blue cock. It works fine with spherical and shit, I just said it. What is the word I just said?
Flake, bar.
Bar. That's the
rod.
Word.
You said rod.
Yeah, I meant bar. But seriously, in even loading like 9mm and 45, I use a flake powder, and I get variances of like a quarter of a tenth of a grain.
Yeah, I was going to say,
it's not plus or minus 0.1.
Yeah.
It's less than 0.1. And when you're loading 24 grains of powder into a case, like for 223, if you get, a 0.05 of a grain of powder, it's not going to make a difference. It's seriously.
No, I was getting 3 to 5 grains difference. And at one time it was 10 grains. I'm like, what the fuck?
No,
and I don't know if it's because of static in the thing or what. And that's why I pulled every single one of them out and set them on a tray and inspected them. Then I went back and seated the bullets and crimped them. And I was just like, I'm not fucking around with this thing. After what happened to me last week with the damn what do you call that thing? The squib? No, I ain't playing, man. That shit's.
Yeah, and then we were experiencing some issues today because I was running bullseye through. Was it bullseye? Yeah, bullseye powder through my because it's got the auto disc, so it's got a little discs that you put in there that measure out the powder. And I was getting pretty consistent readings when I was doing my loads, but then today with Mossy, he was using. I cleaned everything out completely, and then he wanted to use power pistol, and we were getting. He wanted 5.5 grains, so he set it up for what it said with the disc for 5.5 grains of power pistol, and we would be between 5.2, 5.3, 5.4, 5.6. It'd be. But it seemed like the more we ran it, the more consistent it got, but it only settled out around 5.3 to 5.5. But we were getting, it wasn't always a consistent charge every time we put it on the scale.
Yeah, no offense. I've used the lead disc because that's what came with that 1000 I had. Don't get me wrong, but I hated that damn system. Just it's a pain in the ass to change it. I'm used to just turning a bolt.
Yeah.
Even the it's not the drum, but Lee makes a powder measure I got. It's pretty much a drum, but it's not what the new drum they got.
Is it the hand one? Because I've got
Yeah.
that one. It came with the kit. Yeah.
Yeah.
That actually is pretty accurate. Now the drum powder measure, the one that I got right here, I'll tell you what, according to Fortune Cookie 45 LC, to the hot zone, and I love that guy. He lives and breathes by these things. He puts them on everything he's got. And but again, is that 223? It just didn't like it at all. Hey, Tom.
All right, I just got to say this. I'm going to say it once, and then I'll just wait until the next chat until I say it again.
Wipe a little bit right there. You got a little bit of something right there on your mouth. Right there.
No, it's blue. The powder measure and a Dillon, they are all exactly the same to the best of my knowledge across all of their presses. TR knows exactly what I'm talking about. It's a bar that slides in and out of a little square tunnel. It's got a void in it. When it slides underneath the powder measure, it fills up. As you pull it back out, there's only so much you can put in there. You dump it, it slides back in. It's always the same amount. I've never had any inconsistencies or anything, with one caveat. When you first use the press, if it's been sitting for more than, say, 2 weeks, the first couple loads are short, all right, about 0.2 of a grain.
But let me do this real quick. I tell you what. See, the drum charger, the powder measure, has got the same thing. It's got the measure hole, all right, and you tighten it up and fill the hole in, do the hole, and you can measure it however you want to measure it. But when it turns up, it dumps the powder in and it turns down. So it's like a gated valve every single time. Similar to exactly what you're talking about. It's just on the drum. And I think I haven't had any issues with the power pistol. I didn't have any issues with the Varget. And it was just this powder. And I mean, I sat here probably, and again, when you're loading up your 223 rounds, I mean, exactly how long are you supposed to wait for them to get full? You know what I mean? Like 3 seconds?
No.
A second?
It should be like crank, done. You don't like hold the handle down and wait.
Right,
at least on a Dillon, it's like click, you're done.
Yeah.
It shoves it all into the funnel, falls through the funnel at the speed of gravity, and you're done.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I don't like about the Lee system that I have. Is there's no little fine tuning. You can't. Whatever that disc is what you get.
That's it.
Yeah.
There's
Dillon's
no
got a little.
There's no screw to adjust. There's nothing. Yeah. It's just.
Dillon's got a little nut, like TR was saying, on the front of the bar, and what that nut does is it closes or opens the void inside the bar where the powder falls. Yeah. So it's extremely accurate.
I don't know if I can get you over here or not.
I guess better word.
This is, if you guys can see that, this is the drum powder charger, and this is where you do your adjustments, and it screws in and out. Each one of these indexes is 1/10 of a grain. But I mean, like I said, it works great on Varget and Power Pistol and some other things. It's just, I'm going to sit here while we're sitting here chatting. I'm going to find an empty case and get my scales out. I'll show you the variance that I'm finding just in these two. And I don't know if it's because of the humidity level, if we got some shit sticking or what, but it's kicking my ass, and I don't like it at all.
Yeah, I don't think you'd have a problem.
If anybody wants to get into reloading, hang off on buying a gun for a couple of months. Now, you won't get all that. $459, you can get a Dillon 550B. It'll reload any damn cartridge you want other than a 50 BMG. and maybe a 338 Lapua. But I mean, it'll do 30-06, 9mm, 380, whatever the hell you want. So worth the investment.
And they send you a catalog every month with a bunch of hot chicks on it.
Yeah, look at that. I get that every month. I get a hot chick on the cover of, and a story on her.
Actually, there's more pictures somewhere in the catalog itself.
You guys are killing me.
Yeah,
I'm telling
I started with progressives. Sorry to cut you off here. And I don't know any different. I mean, I get the propensity to kind of go towards the single stage and to understand each of the stages, but you can treat a progressive as a single stage if you only put one case in at a time. The single stage becomes, or pardon me, the progressive becomes a single stage with one case in it. So, and you can dial stuff in hugely accurately, and just there's no. I honestly can't tell the difference between single stage and a progressive when it comes to quality, geometry, etc., etc. Okay.
Does it smell different?
Box now. It smells better actually because there's more lubricant.
Well, I know that definitely, if something goes wrong when you're pulling that handle on a progressive. You can certainly feel every single stage that's going on at the same time.
Yeah. Some of the stages don't give you a feel. Like the powder measure is more of just a floppy kind of thing. But the sizing, the bullet seating, and the crimping stages
definitely
on a 650 or 550 or even a square B, they each have their own special little feel, and that's kind of the way I started. I just did one case at a time and got familiar with the way each of them felt rather. Just had a couple of drinks tonight, sorry. But yeah, there's no, if I can do it, I'm just a dumbass, I'm just a dude. If I can do it, anybody can do it. They just need to kind of, take baby steps.
I'm taking back everything I just said. I just poured 3 loads, and they all were 27.6 grains exactly. Never mind. Shit.
Well, if you look at that, some of you probably have heard of it, but there's this pill called Viagra. They copied the Dylan prep out for years, and they's like, that right there causes hard-ons on men. So we need to make these pills blue.
I have no argument.
I'm happy now. Never mind.
I'm fine with that, TR. I think you're right, actually.
Are y'all talking about Viagra, the little blue pill? And I must have lost you there for a second.
I said that the reason Viagra is blue is because they caught on to Dylan presses, because these cause hard-ons in men.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, if we're going to put out a pill that makes men get hard-ons, we need to make it blue.
You talking about they need to make the pill blue, or they need to make the press blue?
The pill blue, because it really, there's probably a sugar pill, and they just color it blue, and it automatically just causes erections in men.
Well, I tell you what, one of my local gun stores has got them on display over there, and I walked in, and of course they want $780 for one. I just you do realize they sell them for $600, right? Well, we got our, I'm like, yeah. But anyway, here's, if I was going to do this thing, and God, I hate you. All you got to do is not buy a gun one month.
I said that 2 months ago, dude.
I know you did, jackass. I know. I'm like, God, man. I just,
let me ask you something though. Can you use can I use those Lee dyes in a Dylan, or do you have to buy Dylan dyes?
No. All dyes are dyes, man. They'll fit in anything. Everything's got a standard thread pattern.
Except for the square deal B. And to be honest with you, It's only $50 more to get the 550. That's about another $150 to get to 650, which is a better press. But being that I got a 550, you have to index it yourself. That's the only really biggest difference. You know, you pull the handle and you flip a little lever and it indexes it. But the Square Deal B, you do have to buy their dies. But the 550, mine right now has Lee dies in it, set up for 223.
Yeah, I think what I may end up doing is I'm going to give. I'm going to probably do a giveaway to Ambiguity or Mossy Oak, Mossy Oak, Mossy Nut. I'm doing a giveaway. Guess what? he made a comment the other day that I didn't like. I might have to send you some reloading equipment, but I'd rather do something like that than anything else. But yeah, here's the thing: they've got the stand that you can buy for the Dylan, that the legs, that actually. Because with me traveling, I don't want to have all this shit everywhere. Man, I got so much crap in a little apartment up here. But if I could stick that Dylan over in the corner and just crank out some rounds for the fun of it, that would be the key for me.
I think you're talking about the strong mount, that just plate metal triangular.
No, not that. That comes with it, doesn't it?
No, it doesn't. Not on the 650.
Oh, so this is I got to buy something else. Yeah. How much is this shit going to cost?
It's like $40, man. You can do it.
It's 40.
How much everything
there. Where it's $1,000 all said and done.
Yeah, I know. That's like Pops is sitting there. They go, okay, now you need to get a sled, and then you need to get this, and you need to get this. And I'm like,
okay, so
this fucking madness going to end.
I have said this over and over and over, and I know my 1050s look kind of gnarly. They look intimidating, maybe they shouldn't. But for the price of a 1050 and the price of a 650 accommodated. No, hear me out. Okay, so you could buy a decent AR, a really nice AR rather, or you could get a 650 that does all the same crap with the electronic case feeder and the alarms and all the shit that I have, or for literally $100 more, you can get a 1050 and it comes with all that shit.
Now, why wouldn't I just go ahead and do that?
That's what my
do
point
I have to get a vacuum cleaner hose and hook up to it and use hearing protection?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Only if that's actually a 650. So that's a great example. So that 650, the way it's outfitted, was about $1,400 with the trim motor, the mechanical case feeder, and the dies that came with it. I am using a Lee universal decapping die on it. It was $1,400 for literally like $350 more. You can have a 1050.
See, that's the initial outlay of cash. It's just that's impossible for me to do.
No. I mean, don't get me wrong here. Like, especially with your swaging issue, you're in there with like a friggin' with a drill motor.
They're $1,800 freaking dollars.
Swaging issue solved.
That's a really bad idea.
Bullshit. My stuff is perfect, man. Papa's gonna fucking get mad at me. He's gonna tell me I'm blowing myself up.
Anybody that knows how to swage is gonna get mad at you. That's not the answer. You gotta get a swaging friggin' press.
That's $60.
You don't want to cut the case. You want to expand.
I'm not cutting the case. I'm trimming that little crimp thing out. It's absolutely the most beautiful thing. You're the one who's telling me there's a difference. You're saying trim, cut. I am removing the crimp.
You're removing material versus an actual.
Yeah, exactly. You need to expand it. Exactly, Yellow. You got to widen it. There's no reason to cut material off of the case. If you slip in there and make that primer, the flash hole bigger, it's going to change the way burn rates happen. And
wait a minute, I've been drilling that flash hole all the way out.
Perfect. All right, never mind.
Which,
I don't know what I'm talking
yeah,
about.
tell me shit, man. I tell you what, you people. Wait a minute. Somebody told me to do that. I've been doing that and the 33 grains of nitrous, but hey, I wasn't. This is the funny part. You see this, guys? Pops gave me this. If you can read that.
That's a great advice. Great advice.
If you guys, I've got a video coming out. Hopefully, sometime tomorrow. I was going to do it tonight, but I loaded some 45. They were pretty hot, and shooting with a 45, 1911. If somebody's a professional told me, says, don't shoot them in anything other than a 1911. It's like, oh, okay. But yeah, I went from my little safety scales to my actual digital scales that I bought with the loads that I've been loading. It was close to 8 grains of power pistol for the 45 ACP. So it was an interesting effect when you go to the range. But it's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah.
You need to get a chronograph too.
Well, I noticed that when you see the 45 rounds come out of the barrel on a really nice day, and when they do a twist and they do a right angle, that means something's going wrong. I noticed.
I've shot 45s when I first got my chronograph. I was shooting 230 grain bullets at over 1,000 feet per second. I mean,
Nice.
The first couple of rounds, I was like, what keeps this slide from slinging off this thing and just crushing my face? Because I know those were too hot. Didn't sure enough chronograph. Yeah, that was 1050. Yeah. I was like, holy crap, that's too hot.
Yeah, I'm actually
going by the book.
Hey, since I got some guys on here that actually reload, Mossy had a question actually that he brought up to me today, that those first reloads that he did and he fired, the cases, after he picked them up, they were discolored on one side, like blued almost. And I didn't have an answer, and I didn't know if maybe it was from the oils from his thumb pushing him in the magazine or something like that.
What kind of gun was he shooting out of him? Shooting him out of?
I think he shot
if it was a Glock, then
several different guns, but it was 9mm, 115 grain. But I think he said he was a sub 2000, maybe a 9mm, 320.
And every single one behaved the same way?
I don't know. I'd have to ask him. He's in the chat.
So the first thing that honestly, to me, and I think TR would agree, would be a tolerance within the chamber of said firearm where you're getting blowback while the bullet is still heading down the barrel. The gas is coming back into the chamber.
Okay.
Just because it's not super tight tolerances, but that's the only thing I could think of off the top of my head, honestly, unless they were furiously overcharged, but he would have known that, I would assume.
Yeah, I don't think he was shooting more than 5.3 grains of power pistol.
I would agree. Yeah, it's probably just a loose chamber. I mean, nothing wrong. Manufacturers, just like a Glock. Glock is, for people that don't reload don't know this, but a Glock chamber is loose as hell. That's one reason it's really reliable. But it's loose. I mean, the chamber's loose, and the sub 2000 or whatever he's shooting, probably the same way for reliability. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just that you'll have different things happen with your cases when you look at them versus a gun that has a really tight chamber.
He just posted what he was shooting in the chat there.
Yeah.
Okay, 2 Glocks. Oh, a Glock 2 SIGs, a Kel-Tec. And, okay, so Mossy Nut did, just go ahead and answer this. Did it happen on every single gun that you were shooting, or only some, or were you able to track?
He doesn't know which one it came from. I mean, at 5.5 grains of power pistol, you shouldn't have any issues. I mean, that's what what grain of bullet is he shooting with that? Mossy, what are you shooting?
I think he told me 115 grain full metal jacket.
Shit, I wish.
But he showed me the cases, and they're physically discolored on one side.
I've had that happen to me. It might be something that's common with a power pistol. I mean, that happens quite a bit. I've just never really focused on that as an issue. It's just like, damn thing cycles and it shoots straight, I'm good, you know?
Yeah. I mean, and you can tell if he has his rounds still, if he has his brass, you can tell if it was shot with a Glock. Those are real easy to tell because it looks like a 22 striker hit it. You know, instead of a hole, you know, like a point, it'll be like a
bar,
slant.
like a bar hit it, right?
Like a bar hit it.
With a point in the middle.
Yeah, that and they'll be bulged a little more than they'll be bulged as well. Like you were saying earlier, the tolerances in the chamber aren't as much. So actually, the middle of the case will kind of bulge a little, especially with 40 cal.
Using a case gauge on the damn things when you reload them, Mossy.
Well, if they chambered, that's not a problem. Like I say, it's probably more of the loose chamber. I don't know about a Caltech, but I know a Glock has a really loose chamber. The SIG, I would think, would have a tighter chamber than a Glock. Like I said, I don't know about the Caltech, but I know a Glock has a very loose chamber.
Yep.
And like SoCal said, it's a very unsupported chamber. It's more of an issue with a 40 than it is a 9mm. But if you shoot 40 in a Glock and reload, you got to actually buy a special die to resize them.
Really?
It bulges the shit out of the damn at the bottom of the case. Down here, where am I at? Down here, it'll actually bulge this case out. And if you reload it using regular dies and then try to shoot it in another gun, it won't chamber.
Thanks for telling me that. I'll never buy a Glock.
Don't even buy a 40. There's really no reason.
Actually, I've got two 40s, and I love the daylights out of both of them. But one of them, I'm thinking about just going ahead and transferring. It's that 229, the P229, and getting the 357 SIG barrel for it.
Give it to Rick.
No, I'll trade him that with that Infinity thing. He's got the Sorensen and Gross, whatever the hell thing is.
Okay, so one of my tutors or people that have taught me a lot of the things I know just chimed in. Papa's Place has been reloading literally, I want to say 10 times, but it's not been that long. Probably 5 times longer than I have. And he was talking about the Lee bulge duster, bulge duster die that will take care of the thing that a Glock will do to brass, just because of the chamber
tolerance
or lack of tolerance. Yeah,
it's just not. It's just too loose, and so it keeps room to expand.
Yeah, and going back to Mossy Nuts thing, I would say try this, dude. Take 10 rounds and shoot them through each gun, and before you go to the next gun, pick them up and see if you see that same thing. Narrow it down to what guns are doing it, and then if that bluish thing that you're talking about, there's 2 possibilities. It could be the brass being annealed by the heat from the gas blowback, but I kind of don't think so, because the brass just isn't under that intense temperature for long enough to be annealed to turn blue. It's probably more of just the kind of junk that ends up blowing back onto the case because of a loose chamber. So figure that out, come back, we'll get you squared away.
Yeah, you're chambering, it's cycling, it's firing, man. Good enough.
Yeah, that's kind of my feeling too. I wouldn't sweat it if it's working and the gun's not malfunctioning, and
I've actually had that happen with store-bought ammo in some of my guns. I mean, it is what it is. It's just laying all over the range I go to, when I'm fortunate enough to find some idiot that's not collecting his own brass, and I'm going, it's stained all the way down one side, man. It's dark, and that's it. It's not all perfect, but you can find that all over the place. Now, with my all of 3 months of reloading experience, so with Big Red over here. But I tell you what, though, it's reloading is such in what's the word I'm looking for? Engulfing experience, I guess it is. It does take up a lot of cool time. I mean, not cool time, but I'm having so much fun learning all about it and doing what it's supposed to do, and especially the precision rounds, and that's really the reason why I got into it. And and C-Max was right, man. It's relaxing, and sure as shit, dude. I'll get up at 5 a.m. in the morning and reload 100 or 200 rounds just for the fun of it. And it's such a cool little experience that you sit here and go, "Ooh, look at my little babies!" It's a neat little experiment.
I would honestly say reloading probably saved my life, or at least gave me back a lot of my life, at least in chronological time. When none of you guys even knew me then, but back in like 2011, when I started reloading, I think it was 2010, 2011, my father just passed away, and I decided, I kind of had a oh shit moment, like we're not all going to last forever. And quit smoking. I smoked for 25 years and had tried over and over and over to quit smoking. And no, I'm not dogging you guys that smoke, but it was just a life choice. And reloading made it so easy, because instead of going like this, I was going like this. And I was actually getting something beneficial to me out of it. I was replacing one physical addiction with literally another. I couldn't stop doing. Once I got in the groove and really understood how the machine worked, and then I ended up getting another one, and it's freaking awesome. It's a lot of fun. You're right, dude.
I can agree with that as well, because as far as I'm a smoker, I do a little bit of drinking, but I'll tell you what, when I go and I pull that handle, I know I'm not drinking and I'm not smoking, and it's one of those things that kind of takes that edge off, and gives you something to do, takes your mind away from it, and keeps you sane. I don't know.
Yep. Well, that's just like almost anything, man. I do a lot of the gun building, and I'm at a range twice a week, and there's some nights I won't go to bed till 1 o'clock at night, because by the time I get off work, Mondays are usually reloading evenings, just doing what I got to do to make ends meet, that kind of thing. If I got a build going on right now, the bad thing is I've got 2 rifle builds going on that I haven't touched in several months. So I need to turn
Dylan, right?
Yeah, and then now I got to buy a Dylan, and I do have a 45 that I've been chatting about for the last 2 or 3 months now, that I've had on layaway, and I'm actually picking it up on Friday, that is capable of shooting those heavy ass loads. Because you ever heard of a 45 Super? It can shoot the 45 Super, and it comes with 2 springs. So it's pretty interesting how that works out. But it's just, I'll have some spare time, and like right now, like this week, I've got several thousand cases of 223 or 5.56 that I need to separate. So instead of sitting at the machine and pumping rounds out, I'm going to devote time to separating those, and then I'm going to grind out and enlarge the primer holes with this thing. So I can really piss people off, but it's all part of the process, man. It's when you go to reload those precision rounds, you've got all this perfect brass that you've worked on. It's each one of them's gone through your hands. You put them through the case gauge. It's just such a cool experience. And had I not Now, I mean, literally driving down the road one evening, and C-Max gives me a call, and he's like, you know, you can get into this for like $107, and I fell for it, man. Hook, line, and sinker. The next thing I know, it's just like, you know, and then you got poor people like Dirt Road Gun Show over there. He's getting knee deep into it, but what a great learning experience. And everybody's like, well, why did you do it? Because right now, you know, let's just face it, ammo is cheap. You can buy 5.56 now. You get, you know, the Israeli IMI, whatever it is, from Palmetto State for $5.79 a box for 20 of them, and you can't reload for that. I mean, you can if you buy super bulk and you got a 650 XL, you know, and you got a couple little monkeys that are pulling the handle for you, but you know, not for somebody who's you're not buying. I'm not buying 16 pounds of powder at a time, and you know that kind of thing. So why do it? And my response to these guys and anybody else, especially like 9mm, is that like I wanted to know how to do it. Not any.
Yeah, I wanted to know how to do it.
You get in a conversation and you go over there and somebody says, "You know anything about reloading?" I go, "You know what? As a matter of fact, I know a few things about reloading." And, you know, if you ask me a question I don't know the answer to, I'll definitely tell you because the shit's dangerous. You know, found out the other day what a damn squib. And I'm pretty sure that happened when I was reloading during one of our chats because you're not paying attention. This stupid shit can happen. You miss a turn and, you know, something happens. But for me to learn how to do it, it was everything. Knowledge is power, dude. And that's one of the coolest parts about being in this gun industry is that you never stop learning about something. You know, next thing you know, I'm going to be down there in South Carolina going, all right, hand me that damn CZ. Let's put that bitch back together. So, you know, it's just always something fun to do.
I heard something about South Carolina being really dangerous.
Just so y'all know, when I was talking about the Glock chamber being loose and where do they have a problem, now this is a 9mm. This is out of my 17. Where they're really loose with their tolerances is right here on the feed ramp. A Glock will have more exposed brass right here than a normal. This is out of a CZ. It's not going to show up on the camera, and a 9mm is not nowhere near as bad as a 40. A 40 is way worse, and that's the one you have to really be careful with. You probably get away with a 9mm just reloading them normally and shoot them in any gun, but a 40 is really open right here, and you'll actually have the bottom of the case right here, not at the rim, but you'll actually have part of this case is exposed, and this will bulge out.
Yeah, I've actually got I got a Glock barrel right here right now too. I think you're right. It does expose itself.
Well,
Sorry,
you know what? Well, you know, here's the funny thing is like, just for instance, my buddy who had the Smith & Wesson M&P with the 40 count, wanted me to switch the barrels out with the 357 SIG, and the casing kept getting stuck in the chamber. I mean, I literally had to jam it out with a cleaning rod, and it wouldn't cycle worth of shit. So I've had a lot of people discuss, you know, that the chamber's out of spec or, you know, something else was wrong. I don't know what the hell was going on, but it was like it was overexpanding and getting stuck in the chamber. What do you think about that, SoCal?
I can tell you right now, 357 SIG is a bottleneck case. You have to treat it just like you do a 223. You will have to size it. You will have
no. These were brand new loads, man. This is not something. I did this video probably a year and a half ago. He bought the barrel from Smith & Wesson, and you're supposed to not have to do anything, change any springs out, no extractors or anything. Just put the barrel in and go. And the casing would get lodged in there after it was shot.
Yeah,
it would not come out.
I honestly don't have any experience with 357 SIG, so I'm not even going to speculate on that other than what TR said. It's basically a shouldered case. I don't know how they chamber, if they chamber like a rifle round where like a 223 or a 308 where they chamber to the shoulder, not the neck of the case like a regular pistol cartridge will. So yeah, I'm not even going to try. Don't know the answer.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well,
I know.
you're exactly right. Okay.
One of the guys, Rich down there at the farm, I promised him I'd give him all the 357 SIG brass, but he reloads that shit. And yeah, he was telling me all about it. He goes, man, it's just like any other neck rifle casing. You've got to resize it, you've got to trim it, you got to do everything to it. And he goes, I wouldn't do it if it wasn't worth it. This shit's expensive. And that's why I told my friend, I was like, why would you take a perfectly good working 40 cal pistol and try to turn it into a 357 SIG if you can't really afford to put the rounds through it? I mean, I think a box of these damn things was like $30 for 50. It's stupid.
Well, don't get me wrong. 357 SIG is a mean ass round. It is really, really close. If not, I mean, with certain loads, it's probably the same, if not more. But I mean, it's damn near a 357 Magnum. It is a hot freaking load.
Yeah.
But you have to treat it just like you do a 30-06, a 223, a 308, or anything else. You have to measure it. You have to trim it. And of course, you're not going to have the military crimp to deal with, more than likely. But
if it does,
God.
I can't say anything too bad because that's how I first started when I started loading 223. That's what I did.
Well, you know what? I might just as much shit as I have. I do like the Lake City brass with the crimp, and I mean even the Federals, the 223, majority of that's got a crimp on it too. I will probably invest the $60 and get the decrimper. What do you call that thing? Swage. You get to see swage.
I got a. I don't know where it's at. I got an RCBS swagger. I'll use in a single stage press.
It's a swage. Is it swagger or swager?
Swager. It's swaging.
Y'all get your shit together, man. You're this impressionable young minds here. God.
I will warn you, if you get the RCBS, D-swagger, D-swager, whatever, D-military crimp primer pocket, do it majigger, adjust it slowly, because I've already broke one. Now, RCBS, they will send you a new one out immediately for free. You could tell them. I actually was on the phone with a guy, and I was like, yeah, I need to get one of the little post that goes up and de-swags it or swags it, whatever. I was like, look, I broke it. I had it out of adjustment. He's like, no problem. We'll send you a new one. I was like, well, how much is that going to be? He said, it's free.
Yeah.
I was like, I broke it. I'm telling you, I broke it.
All right. So you're telling me it's worth the $60 just to go ahead and get the damn little swage press. Yeah. I could do that. I mean, it's the whole thing, though. You know, you look at it. You've got bullets. You know, it's so funny because I picked up my first pound of what did I get? The Varget, and 1,000 rounds or 1,000 bullets. I was like, check this out, man. I'm going to load 1,000 bullets with this 1 pound of powder. And I was thinking, wait a minute. Pop said there's like 7,000 grains per pound, and there's 24.5 grains per bullet. That comes out to 250. Holy shit. I'm not saving crap here. So Cal, you order yours online, or you go to a distributor to buy like your truckload of powder, or how does that work?
No, I actually get a lot of my powder from the local gun show or just at stores around town. So
you're better off ordering it from a store unless you're buying a shitload of it because you have to pay that hazmat fee.
Yeah, the hazmat fee kicks your ass. The hazmat fee doesn't change. So
it's $25 per order, or is it $25 a pound, or what is it?
No, it's $25 per order. So, you know.
Well, if you ordered ass load of powder on a good deal and had to spread the $25 over like 8 pounds, it's not necessarily a huge loss.
Right. But
let me put a spreadsheet.
It still eats away at the savings that you're getting.
Well, you got to pay taxes on the whole thing anyway. So, say for instance, if I go and I got to pay a 7.5% sales tax on, $160, that's
it's still not $25 plus shipping.
It's not.
Yeah, you got to pay shipping plus hazmat fee. I mean, you can come out better ordering it, but you have to order, 10, 20 pounds before it really becomes economical.
Yeah, see, the for some reason, the Cabela's down in South Carolina, right there near south of Charlotte and Fort Mill, they've got damn near close to online prices.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, I mean, I had Pops on the phone with me while I was going over the prices of his stuff, and he was like, shit, that's not a bad deal, dude. So,
I just don't see how it's not a good deal. I'm defending myself perhaps, but I always
yes, you are.
8-pound jugs because I know I'm going to use it. But, the average price of powder is about $28 a pound, right? If you buy the 8-pound jug, it's roughly $155 to $160 a pound. Do the math. Take a minute. Do the math.
Well, it's like I can get. Now I'm switching from Power Pistol to what's the shit? The Tight Group, and I get a 4-pound jug of Tight Group for $81, which is still not a bad deal for retail price.
If that's retail, walking in the store and buying it, yeah, that's pretty good.
That's Cabela. That's Cabela's right there in near Carowinds.
Yeah,
not bad. And then literally, I think the CFE, this stuff was like $28, something like that. And then the Varget was $32.
Yeah,
and I'm gonna get.
I was going to say, I'm just speaking to the powders that I use, the Vargets, CFEs. I use universal clays for pretty much all of my pistols. I have a ton of other powders that I've bought. I've just not used them yet. They're just kind of sitting in my little man shack there, waiting to get used.
What I'll do is I'll give you my address. Can you check that on an airplane?
No problem. You can carry it on.
Carry it on? That's good. Just can you videotape the time when you go through TSA? I just want to see what that's like.
Primers and powder, dude. Don't worry about it. There's no cases. It's not dangerous.
Tread, hey, who's it? Tread. He says you can get a tactical rifle for $19 to $21 a pound. Mr. Tread. Not familiar with you.
I want to share some sad news with you, Coda Boy, and Curious Yellow. I've been reloading for over 20 years. I'm still buying shit. I got shit I ain't even opened up yet. 20 years later, I bought this the other day. I hadn't even unloaded it, but it will be used eventually.
I knew it was it's like a boat, Bust out another 1,000.
Buy stuff because you might need it. You don't need it now, but you might need it.
No, you don't need it now. You're gonna need it.
That's to convert my 550 over to 45 Long Colt. I got stuff for that.
Well, I tell you what, man. When the damn Amazon man shows up at my house, it's almost like it's Christmas for me, dude. I love it. I got a Prime membership to Amazon, and it's the most wonderful thing that ever walked the face of the earth. I love that shit more than the world.
It's the most wonderful thing in the world, but it's also the most dangerous thing. Damn, you could just be buying that one-click buy option.
Stay away from that shit. No. I got everything staged out and planned. I know exactly what day does it.
A day to think about it.
Yep, I put it in the cart and I move it to later or whatever, save for later, and then I sit there and I itemize it and I know exactly. But the funny thing is with Prime, I'll order something that's like $3 or $4 just to get something in the mail. I'm like, yes, this is me. I'm gonna have something in the mail. Merry Christmas. So it's gonna be pretty cool though. But the reloading thing, man, it is so cool to know, to learn. You're meeting somebody like Mr. Tread here. I don't recognize his name. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. But here's a guy. Obviously, he's made several comments out in the crowd here, talking about all the way back to the chambers and powder and all the other stuff. So it's so cool to meet new people who know new things and things that it just, like I said, there's always something that you could be learning every single day. And the minute you start acting like a jackass What flavor is that?
Were you speaking to me specifically when you said jackass?
No. What flavor is that, jackass?
This is what is it? Ice cream sandwich, I believe.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome.
Should put methadone or some shit in there, but best thing
That'd
that
be
ever happened to
great.
me.
That'd be all
I got pneumonia 10 years ago, and smoked my last cigarette as it was feeling like somebody tried to stick an ice pick in my lung. That was the best thing that ever happened to me. So
yeah,
that's before they had the vape thing. I do have a cigar on occasion, but I don't inhale it. So
yeah, like you were saying though, it is really cool to have YouTube as a learning device and also as a community. These people just come out of the woodwork, like Tread. I don't recall ever seeing him here before, but he's got another prerogative to offer, and I'm always open. Yeah, I've done it for 6 years or so. By no means do I know it all. I know what I know because I've used specific things with specific powders, with specific primers. I've cut my cases specifically to what I'm comfortable doing. Doesn't mean it's the right way. It just works for me, and it's great to get people's opinions.
It is. The cool thing is I'm just happy to be able to trim a case. That's where I'm at, and
a primer pocket.
And a primer pocket, I can, and you make the holes a lot bigger. It burns faster. You get.
Yeah.
Hey, let me tell you something. If I can replicate that 24.4 grain Varget shot group that I got the other day, and I'm going to experiment with compressing the bullet down just a tad. If I can continue working towards that, and if it to me, that's the advantage. That's where it's fun. That's where it gets absolutely incredible. And I just love it, man. First of all, the one thing I was cool about was I made a comment. I said, none of these have failed on me, which was even better. That's the cool thing. Now I get my plinker ammo, and if none of those fail on me, I'll be even more excruciatingly happy. Yeah. So it's just always be safe. Check the powder. I mean, they got the Powder Cop by Hornady, and I think it was either Papa's Place or C-Max. Both told me about those. And there's also Papa. You told me about the Arthroscope or whatever it is. You can hook up to your phone. I was thinking about doing that, but I think they've got a. I don't know what I'm going to do still, man. It's kind of crazy, but. One of the things I will tell you this, the most important thing that I've learned in the reloading world is to make sure that there's fucking powder in that casing before you see the bullet. Period.
What kind of, maybe I missed it, what kind of trimmer do you have?
I got the coolest ass trimmer, man. You put it over here in the single stage, and it is a, hold on one second, I'll grab it. It's a power trimmer by Lee. It's the Lee power trimmer. And what it does is you just put it in there and you set it to whatever length you want it. And these are set at 1.750 exactly. And what it does, it trims it, chamfers it, and deburrs it all in one shot. And you just put it in there, and you take your screwdriver, put it on top of it, and you put it on your single stage. You put the round casing in there, and just boom, you're done. Put the casing in there, boom, you're done. But the positive thing, the benefit is that with it being in a die like that, every single case is trimmed exactly to the same measurements. There's no fucking around. Like those goddamn little rod things that I was using the first time, the Lee bullshit things. I was coming up, it was adjusting on itself, and somebody said, put it in reverse. I'm like, I'm not going to do that. But this guy right here, I think for $24 and change was the way to go. And it works perfect, and everything comes out perfectly. I mean, when you get to the point and you got the 1050, doesn't it? 1050's got its own trimmer, doesn't it? What?
No.
Well, what the fuck did you buy that thing for, man?
I don't, honestly, I don't do a lot of brass trimming, to be perfectly honest, because it just doesn't behoove me. I'm not a super high precision shooter. Doesn't really do much for me. As we know, rifle ammo, shoulders, or rather not shoulders, but chambers on the shoulder. That little tiny extra bit of neck you get there really doesn't change my shot too much where I can complain. So I just don't. The only thing I use my trimmer for is to make 300 blackout out of 223. But I could use the same machine in contrast. If I chose to make super high precision shit, I can just change the die out, and I can run it through my 650 and trim stuff literally.
Well, when you got that you're making 300 blackout brass, man. That was a cool ass video. Tread was talking about never been to this live chat because I didn't know about it till KB32 made a video about it. Well, welcome, brother. It's good to see you here. Bad Billy, please don't tell anybody about shooting my 45 hand loads /357 mag stuff. So
I'll tell you a little quick funny story. We're getting overtime here, but that trimmer you just showed, I own one.
Mm-hmm.
I own a couple of trimmers, but that's the one. That's the latest one I bought, and I bought it, and I'd actually forgot about it that they even existed. And one day I was just browsing through some videos, kind of checking it out because I was about to buy it, and I came across Les's channel, Papa's Place, and he was showing it off, and it was an old video, like a video a year old or older, and I had liked it and commented on it and forgot it existed.
Well, I'll tell you what, another huge resource, and I mean, is the whack guy. Well, I mean, dude, he's crazy. But oh shit, what's his name? 45, Fortune Cookie 45, and he's. I think one of the reasons I do like his stuff is he does a lot of things with the low end, like the Lee stuff. I mean, he does a lot of reloading with just the basics, single stage presses, a lot of unique stuff. He presses a lot of his own bullets and things like that, and does a lot of powder coating. But it's interesting to see how these great minds, they get out there, and a long story short, man, it's just I'm having so much fun doing what I'm doing because of. You run into new people, you meet everybody. I mean, like I said, man, me and Bad Billy were up there shooting, and again, those 45s I loaded are pretty hot. I mean, but thank God I've got a gun that is capable of shooting them. But I'm not going to hand them over to somebody else and say, "Here, shoot them in your gun, see what happens," because it probably explode in their face. But my luck. But it's just. The next thing I'm going to get again is going to be the Schwager.
There you go.
And a freaking chronograph. I am going to hold off from getting the sled because I think I can shoot just about as good as anybody with a sled. But this is just every time you turn around, there's something else you got to fucking buy. It's a lot of fun.
On the chronograph, I had to say that Caldwell that's like 79 or 89 bucks. It'll hook up to your phone. That's what I have right now. Man, that's pretty sweet. It really is. And that little app you download to your phone and then plug your phone into it, and it gives you your standard deviation. It figures all that out. You just put your input, 9 millimeter, 124 grain, or whatever.
There's two of them. One of them I've got on my Amazon thing. One was like $95. I don't know if there was a big difference between the two. But yeah, there's one of them I definitely want to get. And it'll happen, maybe not this month, because I've got some other stuff that I got to come up with. But I'm thinking, hold on one second. I'll tell you exactly which one it is.
I had a Crony. A Crony is the name brand. And my buddy was borrowing it, and he shot it. And when he was shooting through it, and he literally shot the freaking chronograph and destroyed it.
Oh,
And so he bought
Thanks,
me
bro.
he bought me the Caldwell to replace it, and it's all plastic. And you're like, I don't know, it's kind of plastic. Trust me, if you get a metal one or a plastic one, if you shoot it, you will destroy it. It doesn't matter if it's made out of metal or not.
Yeah, I have the same Caldwell that you're talking about, and yeah, they are bitching. And just going back to what you were saying, Coda Boy, real quick. Another guy that nobody talks about anymore, and I don't know if anybody, maybe some of the older guys know him, but Buck Run 11 does a lot of good reloading videos. He does his own, he makes his own bullets and whatnot, and he actually manufactures things in his shop to use on his reloader. He's a plethora of information as well.
A plethora. So, go ahead. Plethora.
That was the word, plethora. And actually, somebody made a comment. I think it was, shit, what's his name? I can't remember now. But yeah, I used plethora and behoove in the same, like, 1 hour period. So there's a couple of $4 words for you.
Yeah, I was just looking at that. I was looking at the one that was a competition. What's the name of it? It was the thing I love about Amazon is everything's just sitting there right there. But it was a competition, yada yada yada. But the ballistic precision chronograph by Caldwell's $85. And I like that idea that you can hook it up to your telephone and you can watch the damn numbers roll across there. That's actually, and I saw it, Rich 4150. He's the man. That's the first time I ever saw that shit. It was on his channel the other day as he was shooting.
Yep.
And that's, and here again, it's one of the cool parts about the community being on YouTube is like, we're all like, well, I say we knew individuals into the reloading is we're able to watch what each other's doing and learn from, other people's mistakes or what other people are learning and seeing it. It's really just absolutely cool. So all right, I'm gonna be quiet now.
All right, so Cal, we're gonna have to reshoot all our damn reloading and shooting videos because I reviewed that damn thing fucking year ago or something like that.
Which one?
But you wasn't a sub. We wasn't introduced to each other then.
What are we talking about? What thing?
Anything we done because these guys are seeing these other new channels do it, and we're like, I know you're sitting there thinking, well, hell, I already done that.
Yeah, I have most of the reloading videos I did were back in like 2012 on a channel I haven't used in 4 years, and I honestly thought about re-uploading them, but the videos are so crappy that
you'll probably
I'm
get
just thinking. They already have like hundreds of thousands of views already, but it's like I would like to redo them now that because I was making these videos as I was learning, sort of like Coda Boy's doing now, and a lot of the methodology wasn't solidified in my mind, where now it's like it's been several years and I just get it, where it wasn't more fresh in my mind, but now it's more kind of doctrine, so to speak. So yeah, I would like to revisit them, but
I definitely need to do some more reloading videos. I have done them in the past, but I got to do some updates and show my reloading room and my domain, my little man cave, and what I've done over the past. And literally, not really bragging, but I'm going to brag. I'm going to pat myself on the back. If you go back and look at my damn channel, I'm the first one that ever fucking loaded a 223 lead bullet and an AR-15 and shot that sumbitch in its cycle. Ever on YouTube.
And it came out looking like a melted spear of lead.
It looked good. It was like 8 parties. It was back when back in 2007, 2008. No, it was after that. I take that back. Anyhow, it's the time you couldn't buy a 223 bullet you couldn't sell your wife and buy a 223 bullet.
Yeah, I
or
remember
trade
that.
for it. And that's when I did the 223 reloading a lead bullet in a 223.
Yeah, that happened like
Because
right after I started reloading too. That kicked my ass. It's like the year after I really kind of got into a groove, and
it was 2012.
you couldn't find primers, you couldn't find powder, you couldn't find bullets anywhere. I have shit tons of cases and nothing to do with them.
Yep, that's when I done that. And when I ordered the mold for that bullet, within 2 weeks, you couldn't even buy a mold for a 223 bullet. And every forum I looked at, every question I asked on the internet, they said, no, it won't work. I was like, I bet I can make this shit work. And I downloaded it, and I had to figure out my own damn calculations for the powder and shit because there was no info on it. I came up with my own calculations. I gave you all the data. I mean, I literally posted in the comments, I mean, not comment, but the information. I'd say, 3031, I use this grain powder. This will cycle it at 2,300 feet per second.
Well, let me ask you a question, Mr. Machinist. Could you not create a form for a 223 bullet using a machine process?
Yeah, I mean, were you like ripping one out on a lathe or something?
You could making a form so that a mold.
Oh,
Make a mold for your 223 rounds. You can make that yours. Here's the coolest thing that I love about machinists. Actual real dog machinists. You talk about like Buck Run 11. A guy. I mean, a man with a welder can do it. You have the ability to make things that if you have the engineering capacity to design it, then you can make whatever you want. And that's just one of the coolest things,
A mold would be kind of hard to make. I tried to make one time. I'm not a machinist. I do run a lathe in a milling machine at times, but I am not a machinist. You'd almost have to have an EDM to make a mold, I think, or because especially if you use grooves.
Yeah.
But even just a straight wall and you powder coated it, that would be hard to. You would have to make a special bit, make your own bit.
Well, that's what I'm saying. A 223 round.
I ain't
that
saying do it.
Of all the rounds in the world would be the easiest one to do. I mean, you think about it. It's you're straight walled.
Yeah, but the bit that would cut it, you would have to make your mold to 2 halves, and actually sandwich those 2 halves into that bit. I mean, I guess you could do it one at a time. Some really precise machinery. It wouldn't be dials. You'd have to have electronic devices on it.
You're talking about machining.
Make your own bit.
You're talking about machining bullets?
No. I'm talking about machining a mold.
Oh, okay.
To make your own bullets. If you had the wherewithal to do that, I think that would be really cool.
It could be done.
Oh, absolutely.
Like I say,
it could be done. You just have to have the right stuff to do it. You gotta have the right machine to make that type.
You have to make your own custom bit out of some carbon steel or whatever. It could be done.
And then being able to not just make the bit, but then to sharpen it so that you can cut it too.
All right, I got a refill. Stand by. Be right back.
Well, hurry up. We're about to jump off. I got to work.
Stand by.
They already make friggin' molds.
Yeah, they make the molds already. So why not?
What are we talking about here?
Yeah, Lee actually, they didn't at the time. Lee didn't even make a 223 mold then, but they make a 6-cavity 223 mold now, or 235, I guess it would be, or 234. Lead's always a thousandths over.
What would be interesting is to see if somebody comes up with something you could put in a single stage press where you can take a rod of lead. Say, I'm just thinking out of the box here, a rod of lead that you could feed up into a die and just crank the handle and have it force the shape into it and cut it off at the bottom. And then you'd have to go back and resize it, obviously, and then coat it perhaps, but yeah, that'd be kind of a cool little trick for
I
rifle.
don't think that might be possible because of how soft lead actually is. I think you could probably make something out of some high carbon steel that you could make a.
They make those. You can buy them.
Really?
Swaggers. You can buy molds that you actually use a 22 long rifle spent case. Make your own jacket out of a 22 case. You can buy the lead strips, and it'll swag that damn lead up in there, fill it up, make a pointed 223 case. This shit is available. You can buy it. It's expensive as hell, but you can buy it.
Yeah.
It's not cost effective for shit.
Who's got the damn timer?
No, I'm
Time's
getting
up,
a
dude.
text. That's me. I'm getting a text.
Yeah, but like what Les is saying, there. When you do your own molding, usually the molds are oversized, and then you got to resize the actual bullets themselves. And I remember Robbie, Pop's Quest, was talking to a dude maybe a couple weeks ago who was having issues with the Acme bullets, and they weren't fitting in his cases because they hadn't been resized. It was a manufacturing defect, I think. So yeah, you don't think that you can just pour lead in a mold and then crank the handle, have the bullets fall out, and they're good to go. You still have to resize them so they're exactly the right dimension.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, boys. It's been a long one, a lot of fun. Just got back from the Detroit area. It's good to be worldly as such. Not really. But it was good to meet Bad Boy Billy up there, and had a lot of fun. But, I want to just thanks. I know he's not on here tonight because he's probably up at the top of a mountain somewhere. But Pop's Quest is a great organizer and organized the hashtag Let Freedom Ring. Again, this is what, year number 2?
Maybe 3, but at least 2.
And we had a huge turnout. Again, TR, what was the last count? 50? 50 or
50, what I counted.
Yeah.
I couldn't keep track. It just kept popping up. It was insane.
Yeah, I still haven't seen all of them.
Just a tremendous turnout.
About an hour watching most of them, and then I was like, I got better things to go do right now. My wife's yelling at me. I'm like, I gotta go. I can't watch it anymore.
Yeah, it was a real good turnout, man. And then everybody who was talking about the knife, that is the Sammy Scrimshaw / Puku knife. Bird Dog's talking about that. That was handed down by my wife's great-great-grandfather. And that thing's well over 100 years old. So my brother-in-law was showing it to me. He said, eventually that'll probably go to my son. But it was a true, an absolute true gem to be able to hold that and see it. And the precision that thing still fit together after that many years was unbelievable. But anyway, that's it. That's all I got to say. I'm still measuring out this damn powder because I'm just like, this thing ain't worth a shit. And all of a sudden now it's perfect, which is pissing me off.
Well, hey guys, I'm going to take off because the fireworks in my neck of the woods here are going to start in like any second now, pretty much. And the wife just took off. She's bailing on me, and I kind of want to enjoy it with her. So thanks for everybody out in the chat. Let's do the Let Freedom Ring thing again next year. That was really cool. We got 50. Maybe we can make it 100 next year. All you people out in the chat, if you didn't make a video, maybe you can help us out with that next year. And thank you, TR, for having me on the chat. Mr. Solar, Coda Boy, everybody else, thanks for having me on. Let me babble and use 4-cent words and whatever. You guys have a great night, and it was great talking with you guys.
See you, brother.
Thank you, man. Thanks for all you do.
Take care of y'all.
Aw, he's so sweet.
Oh, Fluffy. Take care, guys.
Be good, man.
Well, Curious Yellow Solar, would you like to do an outro?
Yeah, I would, and I think it's still. Are we still in time? We're right there. So anyways, I wanted to say I've been making it a mission today not to say Happy 4th, just to say Happy Independence Day, because that's what it is. And thanks to all that, you know, the remembrance of what that actually means for this country. So had a good time, met up with Mossy Nut today, came over, did some reloading, had a great time. That guy's awesome. So yeah, nothing much going on. You've seen it. Thanks for having me on, TR.
Oh, you're welcome. And it looks like I still got 35 people watching. I'm going to do an outro. I normally don't do an outro. I'm going to let you in my personal life for a brief second. Some of you know me on Facebook. And on Facebook, I am a cold-hearted son of a bitch. I am in your face because I know, bear with me, Facebook is fluff and look at this puppy dog, and I went to Burger King today, and so to grab people's attention, I go way out there. It's usually political. Sometimes I post kittens too, don't get me wrong, if I think it's funny. But anyway, I'm usually in your face. I post hardcore shit. Trump wasn't my first choice, but I like him. I like what he's doing. I'm going to get political here for a minute. And you know what? He pisses off liberals. He pisses off libtards. And I love him for it. It's like the tweet he done with him like doing the wrestling thing, and he was like fighting the CNN little thing. Fuck it. I love it. I love it. Anyway, so I post that kind of stuff all the time. It turns out that girl I'm seeing, her family is very liberal. And I'm just going to do a confession here because the hell it's still on Facebook. Her brother, I've not met any of her fucking family.
Oh boy.
None. He insulted me on one of my videos. Called me a ignorant something another, blah, blah, blah. I literally told him to fuck off. I mean, literally I said, fuck off. And and we went back and forth a time or two, and we kind of come to somewhat of a, okay, we disagree, we agree to disagree. But he still insulted me when he didn't insult me, he made a smart ass comment because I know he's a liberal. Now I didn't know that it was Sonia's brother. And I didn't know who it was.
Whoops.
Oops. And anyway, he's like, well, go shoot a gun. So they've been watching my videos, and they're all very liberal, and now they're just fucking blasting her, and I think we broke up tonight. I don't even fucking know now.
Oh man, that sucks.
Yeah, it's like, damn it. I mean,
Can't catch a break.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I didn't know it was your brother, you know. But if I knew it was your brother, I would have treated it different. But at the same time, that kind of fucked up, you know. If your family dictates who you fucking date,
How old are you?
I could see it if I was a crackhead or something. But it's a very liberal family. I'm out here shooting AK-47s and ARs and stuff. I get it. They don't like it, but that's just fucked up.
Well, here's the thing. I'm gonna go ahead. Curious.
Nah, just looking at the comments.
Well, you know what, TR, I can completely sympathize with you, and that's why I've got a CodaBoy32 Facebook page, and I have my John Mullally Facebook page, because John Mullally doesn't let everybody know that I'm in the guns. That ain't nobody's fucking business but my own. I don't give a shit. And everybody who knows me knows that I'm into guns, but they don't know how much I'm into the gun thing or how right-wing I am. And I don't give a fuck if they find out, but I just assume forego the drama on that, because I have some cousins and I have family members who are so far up Obama's ass that it literally, they have a tan. And in my family, that's not a good thing. These are some damn left-wing suck nut motherfuckers, if you don't, excuse my French, but I just happen to, you know, fuck with them now. And I have fun with these people because I throw the gun shit out at them every now and then. And they're retired Marine Corps people. And it's just, you know, where the hell did this liberal shit come from? But I'm real careful on how I tread my personal beliefs, especially where I work and how I mean, I'm up New York and New Jersey, and I'm lucky because I'm in the better part of Pennsylvania when it comes to this stuff. But you know, sometimes you gotta be careful about. And I know some people, man, we talk off our cuff of our sleeves. But what I'm getting at is that sometimes you just got to be careful about who you're talking to, what you're talking to about. I've got a lot of friends of mine who are director level feds, man, and they've changed their names on their YouTube or their Facebook page because they can't be caught even saying stupid shit, man. And you never know who you're going to be in that conversation with. But I got your back, man. Fuck that asshole.
It's crazy. I mean, it threw me off guard, and that happened right before the chat. That's why I was a little bit late sending out invites, which probably, you know, affected y'all. I don't know. And when I started chat, that's why I just started reading the Declaration of Independence and stuff. But you know, literally, I hadn't seriously dated a woman in 10 fucking years, and I decided to fucking. I'm dropping my guard here. This is me. This is me emotional, or not emotional, but just letting y'all know some personal shit. And I'm going to show you something that's going to gross you out here in a minute. But anyway.
Is this a nipple ring you got?
No, it's his arm. It's
no, me doing my rant. I don't have a bandage on my arm. That fucking scab broke, and I'm fucking bleeding like a stuck pig.
God damn! I'm glad fucking SoCal's not on. Man, he called me the other night. He goes, "Can you call TR? Please tell him to go to the hospital." Oh my God, man! Hey,
it's a little bitty hole. It's just all of a sudden it just started bleeding. I didn't even realize it. I looked down. I'm like, oh shit! I'm bleeding all over the fucking place.
Yeah. Hey, boss.
You'd be right back.
Hey, do yourself a favor. Get you some gauze put on that thing and get that shit cleaned out. Take it to the emergency room in the morning.
Hey, put some.
Oh, no, it ain't that bad.
It ain't that bad, but I'm gonna tell you something. If it's bleeding like that,
yeah,
it's deep. And you need to have it.
You got any of that quick clot stuff?
Oh, don't put that shit on you. Well, fuck. Oh, do it on camera if you're gonna do it, please.
I had some on it yesterday.
It screamed like a fucking scalded dog.
No, it didn't hurt. It didn't hurt.
Holy shit! Yeah.
The swelling's gone down. It was scabbed over, and me moving around broke that scab, and that's why it started bleeding.
Yeah, air it out. But I would just have them flush it. If it work, you know, here's the thing. You're like me, dude. If something's up in there, it's gonna fester up and rot out anyway. It's gonna. And that's the best part because I like just chewing the shit off. It's like, but
that's me too.
If you
shit.
If you got health insurance, there's a reason why you have health insurance. And just say I farming accident, fucking stuck myself with a fucking pitchfork, some shit like that.
I got a fact. I'll be okay. I'm about to wrap it when we get off of this.
Fuck. I had a friend of mine. We were shooting.
You need to wrap that up, man.
We thought it was real cool when we were young to take 22 bullets and smash them with rocks because they exploded. And one of the kids ended up with a 22 round in his leg. Well, his dad was a MASH doctor in Vietnam. And we went up and said, "Oh, Dr. Neaters, we got a problem here." And he just started laughing. He goes, "Yeah, well, you're going to feel it." And he pulled the bullet out of his kid's leg without any anesthesia or anything. I was laughing my ass off. Cover that son of a bitch up, put some Neosporin on it, maybe go see a doctor tomorrow. You fucking end up losing an arm.
Are you sure there's no metal still in there?
It should be pushed out by now.
You gotta get a metal detector and sweep your arm.
Yeah, I need to do that.
Oh my God.
No, it actually, like I said, the swelling went down. It's just that I didn't have a bandage on it right now. And me moving around, all of a sudden I broke that scab. and it just
What you
started
do
spurting.
for your chats, I'll tell you what.
Yeah, what I do.
Well, I'm glad you didn't show up when
YouTube channel.
fucking SoCal was here.
Yeah.
You're just pissing bloody, just dripping all over my legs.
Gosh, I'm feeling pretty lightheaded right now. It's okay, though. You know,
Drinking up beer, thin my blood out a little more.
I'm good.
it's a beautiful light right there in front of me. It's just like really nice. Oy vey. Yeah, super glue.
Painkiller right here.
Yeah. I think, but that's just an open hole, man. There's nothing to flap it closed if you had any super glue. I like Tread, my man. We need to be friends, brother. I'm gonna tell you something. Cool shit. All right, listen. I gotta go to bed.
Yeah,
I gotta be at 5:30.
I'm right there with you, man. I got to get up too.
Use that as a focus.
Guys. Thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for coming on and being part of the panel. You guys really don't know how much I appreciate it because I go into these things blind every fucking time I do a chat. I don't know if I'm going to have a panel or not. So I'm not putting pressure on you, but if you can come on, I really appreciate it. I just want you
Tuesday nights, I'm good to go, brother. And you know what? Shit, I'm fucking feeling pretty good. I don't know. Oh, all right. Y'all be good. Love you long time. Happy innings.
Later, everybody.
Happy Independence Day, everyone.